Welcome to Fanfiction Audiobooks. Marvel, I can download unlimited talents. Chapter 41, New Ability, Double Body. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. When this idea appeared in Li Ti's mind, he immediately rejected it. He clearly remembered that he had eliminated 10 people. There were only 12 people participating in this selection, except for himself, there was only one person. So now on the training ground, alone after that. But why? He saw 2 figures. Could this be his special ability? Li Ti's heart sank. But now it was too late to think so much. Behind him, someone wanted to eliminate him. Without any hesitation, Li Ti's whole body turned around. Bang bang bang! Several gunshots appeared, and within such a short distance, almost no one could escape. But Li Ti was different. He improved his spider sensing ability. Everything around him was clearly visible, even the movement of rubber bullets. All clearly displayed in his mind. The super speed was activated, and Li Ti's entire body moved at incredible angles. At the same time, Li Ti took out several flying knives and shot them out. Before Coulson and Hill with a look of astonishment, Li Ti dodged all the bullets. Such a short distance. Coulson was speechless for a moment. And Li Ti's opponent, the 7th level agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Riley, was shocked. Facing the flying knife that sounded through the air, he turned around and hid under the thick behind the wall. Boom, boom, boom. But the power of Li Ti's flying knives exceeded his imagination. Under dozens of flying knives, the entire wall collapsed. At this moment, Li Ti still wanted to take action. But behind him, another voice appeared. Li Ti's heart sank, and his senses were fully activated. No, the shadow behind him seems to be fake. Under the spider sense, he caught a loophole. The shadow behind him was strange, and he just stood there without taking action. At that moment, Li Ti completely ignored the shadow behind him, and his whole body was ejected directly. His hands were ejected. Strengthening, he directly broke through the wall that was about to collapse. Boom! A huge roar sounded, and Li Ti fought with Rulai in a short time. Bang bang bang! This Rulai is worthy of being the top figure among the 7th level agents, and his fighting skills are very powerful. But he is no match for Li Ti. With the blessing of super fighting skills, Li Ti's moves are ever-changing, and his speed is even more amazing. However, he is no match for Li Ti. Both sides fought with daggers, so Li Ti hadn't had a chance to check his abilities yet. Boom! A loophole appeared, and Li Ti punched him down. Rayleigh couldn't bear it. His body turned inside out, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. Li Ti had no intention of holding back, and appeared next to him again. This time, Li Ti caught him. Name, Riley Zhou. Identity, Level 7 Agent. Abilities, Top Fighting Skills, 200 MB, Firearms Proficiency, 300 MB, Assassination Skills, 200 MB, Double Body, 2 GB. It is an ability that even the strongest Li Ti has never been exposed to. Double Body, as the name suggests, is the ability to transform into 2 bodies. These 2 bodies are exactly the same in terms of breath, expression, and image. But it's just an illusion, not a body. Unable to attack or take action. The biggest effect is to plaster the enemy. Even if you use some sophisticated instruments to detect it. There is still a slight difference. If it weren't for Li Ti's spider sense, he could have detected the flaws and loopholes. Even he would be confused. However, although this ability does not have much effect, it is a very powerful combat ability. Even sophisticated instruments cannot detect it, similar to Loki's clone. Like a kind of magic. This ability is very practical and will be of great help to Li Ti in the future. Without any hesitation, Li Ti directly chose to download. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong. The size of the double body ability is 2 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 2 MB/s, valid within 10 meters. This kind of double body is very powerful, and Li Ti also wants to resolve the battle quickly. Most importantly, he knew those Coulson guys were probably watching him. Therefore, Li Ti directly used $100,000 to activate 100 times acceleration. 10 seconds later. Ding dong. Download successful. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for mastering the ability of double body. The moment Li Ti mastered this ability, Li Ti took action. He took action again and knocked Rulai down to the ground. A yellow smoke appeared at this moment, which also symbolized that Li Te had become the final winner. At this moment, Coulson and Hill in front of the screen took a deep breath. Li Te's strength exceeded their imagination. Even a being like Rulai could be solved in less than a minute. Such a person will be promoted to the 8th level in the future. Level 1 agents have opportunities. However, Shield's rules for promotion of agents above level 7 are very strict. If he completes this mission well, he may be promoted to a 7th level agent. Hill smiled and was very satisfied with Li Te. To be honest, she wanted this Li Te. After all, although she and Coulson were colleagues, they led different things. Don't catch his attention. Coulson smiled and walked out of the room directly. The selection was over, and they should announce the final winner. At this time, Li Te and everyone who participated in this selection walked out of the training ground. Except for Li Te, everyone else there was a faint yellow smoke all over their bodies. The faces of these agents were a little ugly. They looked at each other and shook their heads slightly. A level 6 agent, alone, solved all of them. What is this? But they had to obey, because from the end to the end, they were the ones conducting sneak attacks. And Li Te welcomed them openly and openly. There was nothing to be dissatisfied with. This was strength. At this time, Li Te's figure became taller in front of these agents. Congratulations, Li, you are qualified to accept this mysterious mission. This mission belongs to you. Coulson's voice came, and everyone present stood at attention. Li Te's performance exceeded his imagination. Okay, everyone has left with me. You have other tasks. Coulson glanced at Li Te, and then left with the other failed agents. At this time, only Li Te and Hill were left on the field. Chapter 42, Victory, Team USA appears. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. As the winner, Li Te is not arrogant. He had the same expression as before, with a dull expression. It looked like he was not the one responsible for provoking 11 Shield elite agents before. Hill was very satisfied with Li Te's character, and a smile appeared on his face. You are very strong. No wonder Barton said that you almost defeated him. After Li Te heard this, he was stunned at first, and then felt a little funny in his heart. Hawkeye had obviously lost in the previous battle, but when he told Hill, he said that he almost defeated him. Sure enough, even superheroes need face. But Li Te didn't care, it wasn't important to him. What he cared about was what Hill was going to say next. This mission is very important. It was originally assigned to Barton, but he has other characters, and we don't a Euro trademark T have enough manpower, so we can only conduct a selection. If you win, this mission will naturally be yours. Until now, Xian still hasn't said what this mission is. But Li Te has roughly guessed something. This is our shield's top secret. Since you are involved in this mission, you also need to know. Hill smiled and then motioned for Li Te to follow him. Li Te nodded and followed Hill. This world has always been around. Billionaire Tony Stark announced his Iron Man story before, as you know, and the big explosion in New Mexico was another world, an extremely terrifying monster. Some time ago, also in New Mexico, even the gods from Norse mythology appeared, you know what I mean. On the way to the destination, Hill recounted some events that occurred during this period. Li Te could basically guess who he was talking about. Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor. These all have powers beyond the scope of understanding at this time. However, what Hill told Li Te was only superficial things. As for the deeper things, only a few people knew about them. Li Te also pieced together the information based on the information Hill told. Appeared at the time point. He was analyzing the start of the New York War. Therefore, S.H.I.E.L.D. decided to form an unprecedentedly powerful organization to bring all these people together. Come in. With that said, Hill appeared in an elevator and let Li Te enter. The latter did not speak and listened quietly. As the person I personally screened, only you know about this matter. Hill looked at Li Te and smiled. Of course the latter knew what he meant. This is S.H.I.E.L.D.'s top secret. He didn't want anyone else to know. Next, I will take you to meet a person, the most legendary figure we know, and your task is to serve as his deputy and follow him for recovery training within a certain period of time. After saying this, Hill said no more. Just by what he said, Li Te already knew clearly what the mission this time was. He was already sure. After that, there was no further conversation between the two. Just passing through one door after another. As he went deeper, Li Te learned more about SHIELD. SHIELD is a mysterious and huge organization, with the highest technology and the most powerful in the world. People. Finally, after a while, Li Te and Hill came to a very mysterious base. The temperature here is very low and it is in a sterile environment. There are various research equipment around it, and a large part of the data. It was inside the Avengers base, and only agents of at least level 8 could enter. Li Te also saw many researchers wearing white clothes, who were experts in various fields. That is Eric Sevig. At this moment, Li Te saw a familiar person and confirmed his identity. It was the researcher of the cosmic Rubik's Cube, a senior physicist. But he did not see the cosmic Rubik's Cube, nor did he see anything related to it. Information. But since that physicist has appeared, he must have been studying the cosmic cube. The Hydra organization also successfully researched it decades ago, and SHIELD also wants to use the cosmic cube to develop terrifying weapons. In fact, at this stage, SHIELD, or Nick Fury, does not completely believe in the Avengers he selected. So he wants to develop a weapon. Is it to deter the enemy or the heroes? That's unknown. But Li Te didn't care. According to the timeline, the cosmic cube will be brought to Asgard by Thor during the battle in New York. I wonder if I will have a chance to download the Space Stone and the Mind Stone. Li Te thought secretly. In the Battle of New York, 2 Infinity Stones will appear. But in Li Te's mind, it may take a very long time to download these 2 things. And what's more important is that he wants to deal with Thanos in the future. The Infinity Gauntlet must use the Infinity Stones. As for other people, Li Te has not thought about it. He can't even protect himself now, so he will worry about other people. Well, here we are. At this moment, Hill's voice came over. Then Li Te raised his head. This was a huge room, but it had been closed. Li Te looked at this huge room with a glimmer of light in his eyes. Diddy. After Hill checked his identity, the door was opened. Sizzle. A huge dust-free room appeared, almost all white. In the center of the room, a tall man sat on the bed, with a trace of confusion in his eyes. The lines of this man's body were extremely perfect, even though he was separated from him even with his clothes on, Li Te could still feel the powerful explosive power in his body. Captain, this is your future partner. Hill spoke. The man turned around and met Li Te's eyes. It was Captain America, Steve Rogers. And at the end of the room, a blue 5-pointed star shield was quietly placed there. The Vibranium Alloy Shield. Chapter 43, Vibranium Alloy Shield. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. According to Li Te's knowledge, Captain America's Vibranium Shield is different from ordinary Vibranium. Although this shield is made of Vibranium as the main material, some accidents occurred during the production process. As a result, the proportions of the materials that make up this shield are unclear, and even the most sophisticated instruments cannot calculate it. But it is precisely because of this that the hardness of this Vibranium shield has reached an incredible level. Especially in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he is one of the hardest materials. This doesn't mean just one Earth, but the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. More powerful than ordinary Vibranium. It can be said that half of the US team's combat power comes from this shield. So for Li Te, the most precious thing about Captain America is this Vibranium shield. He had to get it. Especially Li Te knew that this Vibranium shield would soon be taken away by SHIELD. Because Coulson wants to design a new suit for Captain America, this Vibranium shield is a reference. However, Li Te did not act rashly, he just stood there. At this time, Steve Rogers, also known as Captain America, glanced at Li Te and then turned to look at Hill. My future partner. He has just woken up not long ago, and he has not remembered many things. Moreover, he does not know what kind of world he is in, and his mind is in chaos. Yes, Captain, your body functions need to gradually recover. During this period, Li Te will help you. Hill replied. Although she is a senior executive of SHIELD, she respects Captain America very much. He is a real hero. After hearing this, Captain America nodded and did not refuse. He still sat where he was. Land. Okay Li Te, I will arrange everything for you later. The captain is our hero. His strength is beyond your imagination. Hill looked at Li Te and warned him solemnly. Li Te smiled and immediately replied, I understand. Hearing Li Te's answer, Hill felt relieved. Li Te knew a lot about the American team. Of course he knew what to do. Then, Li Te walked towards the American team, with a look on his face. A hint of smile. He stretched out his palm and said quietly. Hello Captain, I'm Bruce Little. Captain America looked at Li Te's outstretched palm without any doubt, and immediately extended his palm as well. Steve Rogers. And the moment the two came into contact, the face of Captain America suddenly appeared in Li Te's mind. Name, Steve Rogers. Identity, Team America. Abilities, Super Fighting Skills, 400 MB, Super Endurance, 25 GB, Incomplete, Super Serum Gene, 50 GB, Incomplete, Human and Shield combined, 100 GB, Vibranium Alloy Shield, 300 GB, Strategic Wisdom, 2 GB. At this time, Captain America has a total of 6 top abilities. 2 of them are incomplete. Super Endurance and Super Serum Genes. Because Captain America has been sleeping for 70 years, it has been greatly affected. However, according to Li Te's estimation, Captain America may have recovered half of his abilities now. At this time, in Li Te's mind, Captain America had 2 abilities worth extracting. The Vibranium Alloy Shield belongs to Captain America, so Li Te can download it on him. Just like Iron Man's Mark suit later, even if they don't have it on them, Li Te has an unlimited download system and can download it directly regardless of these. As for the integration of Human and Shield, this is a tacit understanding between Captain America and Shield. Not at all in other people. If it were someone else using the Shield, they wouldn't be as good at it as Captain America. The moment Li Te came into contact with the American team, he chose the 2 abilities he liked. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the combined capacity of Human and Shield is 100 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the size of the Vibranium Alloy Shield is 300 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 2 MB/s, valid within a range of 10 meters. As expected of Captain America, the size of the 2 ability data actually reached an astonishing 400 GB. It is simply terrifying. He is the protagonist after all. Li Te smiled, now prepare to activate the acceleration. This is in the Avengers base, and it is easy to arouse others' suspicion. Especially the US team, who is currently in an unstable state. 100 times acceleration is not enough at all, so Li Te is cruel and directly activates 1,000 times acceleration. A total of $1 million. It made Li Te feel distressed for a while. But it doesn't matter. After this mission is completed, there will be a reward of 5 million. Li Te comforted himself like this. Under 1,000 times acceleration, all downloads were completed, only it took less than 4 minutes. At this time, Captain America let go of Li Te's palm. Hill also walked out at this time, looked at Captain America and smiled. We have someone to give you a surprise, your shield, we're going to use it. Captain America didn't pay attention when he heard this and just nodded. He knew the founder of S.H.I.E.L.D. and knew what kind of organization it was. Hill directly picked up the shield and took a look. Li Te, once again explained. Take good care of the captain. Li Te nodded without answering. Then Hill left and arranged a place for Li Te and Captain America to train and live. Now, only Captain America and Li Te are left in the room. Since you are the partner sent by S.H.I.E.L.D., I will rely on you for daily training in the future, but I still want to arrange it myself. Captain America looked at Li Te. Even though he has been sleeping for 70 years, he is still older than Li Te. In the eyes of Captain America, such a young agent may be very powerful, but he lacks experience. Li Te smiled, he just quietly looking at Captain America. Captain, if I guess correctly, it will be difficult for you to continue fighting now. Captain America's expression changed after hearing this. Endurance has always been his strength. No matter what kind of opponent he faced or what kind of blow he faced, he could always fight on. But he was put to sleep for 70 years. Years ago, this aspect has deteriorated. How did Li Te see this? Li Te smiled and did not continue to explain. Because this was enough. And at this moment, the system once again appeared in Li Te's mind. Hint. Chapter 44, successfully downloaded, Physical Recovery Training. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Ding dong, download completed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining the ability to combine human and shield into one. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for getting the vibranium alloy shield. Ding dong, detect the host to obtain superhero level weapons, and the system warehouse is now open. A series of system prompts appeared, making Li Te slightly stunned. Unlike before, Li Te got a system prompt. System warehouse? When he was confused, a huge thing appeared in his mind. Information. The system warehouse is simply Li Te's proprietary warehouse, which has an independent space. Moreover, in the system warehouse, the damaged superhero level equipment will be repaired to a certain extent. According to the severity of the damage, the length of time will also it's different. The warehouse also has another function, which is to change the coloring and material of the equipment in the warehouse. For example, the vibranium alloy shield is made of vibranium as the main material in the scan. But if it is changed by the warehouse, its material will be changed. The changed material is undetectable, but its function remains unchanged. In other words, even after the transformation of the system warehouse, the function and function are the same, but the origin cannot be traced. In other words, Li Te has now downloaded Iron Man's armor, has all the functions and functions, but it is completely different from Iron Man's armor. Even if Iron Man himself comes, no trace of himself can be found. It is equivalent to erasing all traces. When Li Te saw this function, he was overjoyed. Originally, he was still thinking that if he used Iron Man's armor in the future, he would definitely be discovered by the other party. But now that the system warehouse exists, all traces are erased. There is no trace. People can doubt that once the download is completed, it is completely Li Te's own. It has nothing to do with anyone. Not only the vibranium alloy shield, but also superhero level weapons can be put into the system warehouse and modified. For example, Thor's hammer or even the Storm Tomahawk. It could also be Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet in the future. Look for this column. Without any hesitation, Li Te opened his system panel. Name, Li Te. Identity, Level 5 Agent. Abilities, Marksman, Anti-Aging Gene, Spider Sense, Human Shield Fusion, Super Speed, Super Strength, Immune to Mind Control, Body Self-Healing, Hands Strengthening, Eyes Transformation, Cast Iron Body, Super Fighting Skills, Sword Mastery, Firearms Proficiency, Stealth and Stealth. Warehouse, Vibranium Alloy Shield. Balance, $1 million. Sure enough, Li Te's system panel now looks completely new again. There is one more warehouse. With the system warehouse, he wouldn't have to worry about keeping his shield there. As long as he needs it, he can extract it at any time and use it for himself. Extremely convenient. At this time, Captain America didn't speak, and just looked at Li Te quietly. His endurance and physical fitness are not as good as before. If he wants to recover, he needs to go through systematic training. Captain America knows his body's condition better than anyone else. But the Li Te in front of him could be seen at a glance. This makes Captain America feel unusual. So what do you think I should do? Captain America spoke, and he didn't reject Li Te as he did before. Li Te didn't mind either. He has the system and of course he knows the specific situation of Cap America. But now there are only two abilities of Cap America that attract him the most. Super Endurance. And the Super Serum Gene. These two things, Li Te absolutely must get. Super Endurance is unique to Captain America. In the movie universe, Captain America will hardly stop at all as long as he is fighting. This ability can make him he is tireless and keeps fighting. This is the biggest special product of the American team. As for the Super Gene Serum, it goes without saying. So his training will also focus on these two aspects. Just like he gave Little Spider a special, the plan for training absorption capacity is the same. Captain, I will arrange your training plans so that you can definitely return to your peak in the shortest possible time. Li Te's tone did not change at all. He has always been calm. Even when facing a superhero like Captain America, he was like this. Captain America looked at Li Te and said nothing at the moment. The next time, in the Aegis under the arrangement of the agency's agents, Captain America and Li Te left this place. S.H.I.E.L.D. arranged an open room for them, in a different underground base. This was also the first time that Captain America saw the sun, and there was a look in his eyes. There is still some confusion. Everything in front of him is so strange. Captain, the world has changed, but there are also more crises. Li Te looked at Captain America and said directly. This sentence made the latter turn around. Li Te's words had many hidden meanings. But Captain America didn't ask this. What they have to care about now is not this. Later, Li Te began to make a training plan for the American team. The final part was endurance training and physical training. He hoped that the American team could recover as soon as possible so that he could fully develop his abilities. And the influence of the American team on Li Te next, he also started training after sleeping for 70 years. During this period, Li Te observed everything around him. This room was the room where Nick Fury came to visit the American team at the beginning of Avengers 1. This shows that Loki is about to come to the Earth, and the New York War is about to break out. Moreover, Li Te also checked for a long time, and there was no surveillance. This made him feel relieved. But Li Te knew that within a few kilometers of this room, absolutely there are heavy guards. The purpose is to protect Captain America, which is one of the top secrets of S.H.I.E.L.D. At this moment, Captain America is training, and S.H.I.E.L.D. gives him the best food and the best food to help him recover. Li Te left the room, and without anyone noticing, he came to a forest. This place was no longer within the scope of surveillance and guarding, and the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents could not find him. Buzz! At this moment, Li Te thought, and a shield appeared in his hand. It was Captain America's shield. But now, the appearance of this shield has changed drastically. Chapter 45, Director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury, please collect the new book and ask for everything. It is not the same as before, the red and blue do not match, and there is no red 5-pointed star in the middle. The shield in Li Te's hand now only has a black one, which looks mysterious and ancient. After the transformation of the warehouse, this shield no longer has any similarities with the one in the hands of Captain America. Even if you use the most sophisticated instruments in the world, you can't find any similarities between the two. Without any hesitation, Li Te held the shield and threw it directly with a glint in his eyes. Under the powerful force, the shield's rotation speed and attack speed reached an incredible level. Li Te's spider sense also turned on at this time, sensing everything around him. Boom! The shield hit a big tree surrounded by a person. Under the powerful force, the big tree split into pieces. It was completely unable to withstand the power of the shield. Li Te's entire body turned into a black shadow and appeared dozens of meters away in an instant. Outside, the human shield merged into one. At this moment, the shield, which had been traveling in a straight line, turned in an instant under the pull of a group of mysterious forces. Li Te raised his palm and put the shield in his hand. With the ability to merge the human shield into one, this shield will almost always return to Li Te's hands within a range of 1,000 meters. Although it is not as powerful as Thor's hammer in the hand of Thor, this kind of power is already powerful enough. At this moment, Li Te, both in terms of strength, in terms of attack methods, they all reached a perfect state. Later, Li Te trained his use of the shield. Although he had completely downloaded these two abilities of the American team, he still needed to practice them. That's the only way can reach a level of perfection. For a total of 1 hour, Li Te was almost training. This hour also allowed Li Te to fully master the use of his own power. His current strength has completely surpassed Captain America. Even among the first-generation Avengers, its combat capabilities are extremely outstanding. Calculating like this, there should be 5 days before Spider-Man's adsorption ability will be complete, while Captain America only needs 3 days. A look of contemplation appeared on Li Te's face, because he knew the direction of the timeline. So during this period, almost everything he could prepare has been prepared. Of course he will participate in the Battle of New York, and the first-generation Avengers will also. There were several people whose strength he didn't download. If he didn't participate in the New York War, he wouldn't have a chance to contact them. Of course, Li Te didn't care at all about the casualties the specific war would cause in New York. He just needed to make himself stronger. Everything now is to prepare for the New York War. Later, Li Te returned to the place arranged by S.H.I.E.L.D. Captain America is a very self-disciplined person, and he has been training strictly according to the training plan formulated by Li Te. This point, Li Te almost didn't need to pay attention to it. During this period, the two had no communication. If it weren't for the ability of the American team, and the $5 million, Li Te would not want to stay in this place at all. Time is like this bit by bit. During this period, Li Te would talk to Captain America about some things. But most of them were about the two's respective training. And Li Te also used S.H.I.E.L.D's resources to check out what happened recently. A man named the existence of Spider-Man attracted Li Te's attention. He opened this video specially. Sure enough, it was the little spider. Under Li Te's previous training, he had gradually begun his career as a superhero. At the same time, the Avengers in the base. A Quinjet landed at the airport, and senior S.H.I.E.L.D. personnel such as Coulson and Hill appeared. They stood under the fighter, wearing sunglasses, and everything around them was blocked. The fighter the door opened, and two people walked out. One was a fully armed Hawkeye, and the other was a black man. He wore an eye patch, was tall, and had a strong aura. After seeing him, all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents present stood at attention. LNK level 9 agents like Coulson and Hill are no exception. The black man didn't say much, he looked at Coulson and said, "Where is the doctor?" "In the underground base." Coulson replied, looking very solemn. This black man is none other than the 10th level agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the current director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury. "Take me to him, now is the time." Fury spoke. Then everyone walked into the Avengers base. All the agents present, including Black Bill and Zoe, looked at the surroundings intently. Fury and Coulson walked in after arriving at the base. After going through layers of inspections, I arrived at the base. "How is the captain doing now? Are you still getting used to it?" Fury asked. This is a question he is very concerned about. "We have already asked people to conduct recovery training with the captain. It is absolutely reliable. I believe that soon the captain will completely get rid of the effects of his sleep." Hill replied, holding a tablet in his hand, and Li Te's photo appeared. "Is this a newcomer?" Fury had a question on his face. He had never seen this person before. "Yes, but strong and the most suitable candidate," Coulson replied. Fury nodded. He felt relieved when Coulson was doing things. "It's getting uneasy now. Those damn congressmen have already had some objections to my establishment of the Avengers base. We're going to take action," Fury said. He was also under a lot of pressure. Coulson and Hill looked at each other without saying anything. Neil Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., is a very energetic person who can talk to legislators and the president. Whether it is power and status are all different. S.H.I.E.L.D. had made many achievements in the war, so it had the support of the president. But they could not ignore the power of the congressman. Several people did not continue to speak, until they got revenge the bottom of the base. "I have established a secret base, no longer here, but it is very important. When the time comes, you two will be jointly responsible, and Barton will go too," Fury said, and the three of them nodded. They knew the whole story clearly. After passing through the levels, Fury and others finally stopped. "PhD!" Fury shouted. An old white man raised his head. It was Eric Sevig. He walked up to Fury with a smile on his face. Fury was very serious and took out a stack of documents. "It's time." Chapter 46, Important Plan. Captain America invites a battle new book, please collect it, ask for everything. Dr. Selvig glanced at Neil Fury, and immediately picked up the document in his hand. After opening, the first page displays a picture. A square Rubik's Cube, presented in blue, looks extremely mysterious. It's the cosmic Rubik's Cube. I've been waiting for this for so long, is it time now? After seeing the picture of the Rubik's Cube, Dr. Sevig's eyes were bursting with excitement. As a PhD in physics, it is his lifelong goal to analyze some unknown physical properties. At this time, there were only a few scholars and Freddy on the scene. A senior member of S.H.I.E.L.D. "This is top secret and no one else will know about it. We cannot place all our hopes on others. Having the power ourselves is the most important thing." Fury is very serious. He does not trust everyone. The people present nodded. This is very important. Because people's hearts are the most unpredictable. This kind of thing used to be in the hands of Hydra. The technology at that time was completely inferior to what it is now, and it was our only advantage. Fury said, and then left here with everyone present. They have another secret base, and everything is ready, and they are waiting to completely study the cosmic cube. As for their other plan, it has not been implemented so early. Rui's firm belief is to rely on one's own strength. I need to activate emergency defense measures. Once an accident occurs, I want to know as soon as possible. Fury said that he had prepared two plans. But the priority plan was to study the cosmic cube. Soon after, everyone walked out of the base, boarded the helicopter, and headed to the secret base. and Lee Te, who was training with the US team, but didn't know these things. During this period, he had been exploring Captain America's abilities. As he expected, Captain America's abilities were gradually recovering. Time passed like this, and unpredictable things were happening all over the world. On this day, Lee Te was training his abilities. Lee, I think I'm almost recovered, so I want to give it a try. At this moment, Captain America's voice sounded from behind Lee Te. He was wearing a t-shirt and was covered in sweat. These days of training have gradually allowed him to regain the feeling he had 70 years ago. He seemed to have regained his youth, but he still thought that he was not of this era. Lee Te glanced at Captain America and did not refuse. Okay, let's get started. After that, the two people walked onto the ring. This room was specially equipped by shield, and all the training equipment was available. The two people put on their boxing gloves, and their eyes gradually changed. Call out. The next moment, Captain America took action. His movements were extremely fast, beyond the scope of ordinary people's understanding. Especially the power burst out of him seemed to be able to smash a car. Of course, Lee Te was not to be outdone. He did not use Hawkeye's ability just like normal fighting. Boom! The fists of the two collided together, and there was a roar. Under the powerful force, a strong wind swept across. Neither Captain America nor Lee Te retreated. How can it be? Captain America looked shocked. The Lee Te in front of him was evenly matched with him in terms of strength. Although he didn't use all his strength, it was already very scary. Lee Te didn't say anything and took action again. Boom, boom, boom. The strength of the two of them is extremely strong, and they are extremely fast. Not to mention the naked eye, even the camera cannot capture their movements. This is already inhuman. During this period, Lee Te also checked the current status of Team USA. Name, Steve Rogers. Identity, Team America. Abilities, Super Fighting Skills, 400 MB, Super Endurance, 100 GB, Super Serum Gene, 100 GB, Human and Shield combined, 100 GB, Vibranium Alloy Shield, 300 GB, Strategic Wisdom, 2 GB. The Super Endurance and Super Serum genes have reached a perfect state. In other words, the current US team is already at its peak. Without any hesitation, Lee Te started downloading directly. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the size of the Super Endurance ability is 100 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the Super Serum gene size is 100 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 2 MB/s, valid within a range of 10 meters, the system's voice sounded, making Lee Te's lips curl up. Originally, Captain America's endurance was very strong, but after the transformation of the Super Serum gene, it was even more terrifying. Both of these things are very strong, so he must get them. Especially the Super Serum gene, which can strengthen various abilities of his body. Even the self-healing ability that Lee Te obtained before will be strengthened. And with his current the download speed still takes a long time. But Lee Te did not turn on the 1000 times download speed. He had other plans. The adsorption capacity data of the little spider was definitely huge. He could not spend all his money on the United States. Team USA. So he directly spent 500,000 to activate the 500-fold acceleration. At this speed, he could download both items and complete them in 4 minutes. Originally, in the battle, Lee Te could definitely defeat Team USA because the American team is injured and has no shield, his strength will suffer a certain loss. But he did not do this. He did not want to expose his true strength too early. He is originally from China and knows how to retain his strength at any time and any place. Strength is the safest. So the battle between the two sides seemed fierce. But this was because Lee Te kept his hand. But even so, Captain America was very surprised. I remember that in his era, there are no such powerful agents. Are all young people today so strong? At this time, Captain America had the same idea as Hawkeye. His fighting skills had almost no effect on Lee Te. But Captain America was not afraid, because he also has super endurance. As long as he wants, he can keep fighting until the enemy falls down. But he doesn't know that he is facing Lee Te. A real monster. Chapter 47, Shocked Captain America. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Li Te didn't Euro trademark to use all his strength at all, but he still felt the power of Captain America. Although he is confident that he can defeat the US team is getting stronger as they fight. This situation surprised Li Te, because the people he had met before, whether it was Hawkeye or Little Spider, had top abilities, but their combat power did not increase much. Not to mention that they will not get stronger with each war like the American team. It's just that Li Te didn't care. He is still facing the American team with ease. Ding dong, download successful. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining super endurance. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for perfectly integrating the super serum gene. At this moment, the sound of the system came again, which shocked Li Te's body. When he obtained these two abilities, Li Te only felt that his body seemed to become much lighter. He could clearly feel his genes are becoming stronger, and a mysterious power is being integrated into every corner of his body. The most important thing is that both his state and his spirit have been greatly increased. He seems to be like he is a tireless robot that knows no rest at all. Moreover, due to the fusion of the super serum gene, his cells have become extremely perfect in all aspects. The power he had consumed during the previous battle with Captain America was restored at this time. He even felt that even if he was fatally injured, it would not affect his combat effectiveness. Originally, Captain America's super serum gene could restore strength and heal some injuries. And Li Te also has this ability, and the two are compatible. With this addition, this self-healing ability has reached a whole new level. This means that his power has once again reached a higher level. At this moment, Li Te and Captain America are fighting, and both sides are extremely powerful. Captain America, the feeling was extremely obvious. Originally, he felt that Li Te's strength was decreasing. This was caused by long-term fighting. But now, the opponent seems to be getting stronger and stronger. This makes the US team feel incredible. Is this guy so strong? Captain America was a little shocked, and he couldn't believe it. But he felt this personally. Then he increased his intensity. The intensity of the battle between the two escalated again, and of course Li Te also felt it at this point. But he had no intention of defeating Captain America. Finally, after fighting for an hour continuously, Captain America was shocked. This level of endurance was even better than his own. This was the first time he had encountered such a characters. Okay, let's stop. If we keep fighting like this, there will be no end at all. In the end, it was Captain America who spoke first, and he was really shocked. Although he could keep going, Captain America also didn't know where Li Te's limit was. And he wanted to fight Li Te, just to try his own recovery. Which step? Unexpectedly, I met such an opponent. No wonder S.H.I.E.L.D. asked him to come and fight with me. Captain America sighed in his heart, and the look in his eyes when he looked at Li Te began to change. This is a kind of respect for the strong. Li Te's own strength impressed Captain America. As an opponent, Li Te after Captain America spoke, he stopped directly. He had already obtained Captain America's best ability, and as for other abilities, he didn't care. Strategic wisdom, although this is very important. But Li Te had no intention of leading a group. He wanted to just keep strengthening your own strength. Captain, you responded well. Li Te said. What he said is true. Captain America has been sleeping for 70 years and has been frozen for so long, but he can recover to this level within a few days. It is really powerful. If it is replaced by others, it may not be possible. Arrive. You are so good at joking. Captain America sighed. He had some doubts about his own strength. It really shocked him that an agent was so powerful. In response to Captain America's sigh, Li Te didn't say anything. But he remembered something and then said, in 2 days, I have some personal matters to deal with. The senior management has approved my request, so I will leave here for a day. Li Te wants to use this day to go to Queens, New York City. The little spider's adsorption ability has been perfected. Captain America nodded. He has almost recovered. The next step is to strengthen himself so that he can be better to cope with the possible war. Afterwards, the two talked for a while, and Li Te left on his own. He downloaded the two powers of the American team and needed to get used to it. In this way, in 2 days, the relationship between the two there was no more communication. Li Te returned to the Avengers base under the arrangement of S.H.I.E.L.D. When he showed up at the Avengers base again, he discovered something strange. The current Avengers base was even worse than before. Strict. It can be said that there is one sentry every 3 steps and one post every 5 steps. Li, you are back. When Li Te was confused, Black Bill's voice came out. Behind him, Li Te turned around and greeted him. Did something happen recently? The guards in the base are much stricter than before. Li Te raised his own questions and wanted to know something. Yes, Mr. Fury came back a few days ago, but left quickly, taking Mr. Barton and Mr. Coulson with him, and by the way, some researchers in white clothes. Bill replied that he knew about this matter, but he didn't know the real situation. But Li Te's eyes changed slightly, and he had roughly guessed it. SHIELD has already started research on the cosmic Rubik's Cube. It was a signal that it was less than a week before the real battle in New York. He wanted to speed up his actions. Afterwards, Li Te and Bill chatted for a while and then went to the logistics department. He had to hurry up and find Little Spider. Then, gain the ability of the Little Spider. At this time, the more he must be fully prepared to face everything. Chapter 48, Goodbye Peter Parker, please collect the new book and ask for everything. In New York City, a red figure shuttled among the tall buildings with ease. His speed is extremely fast, like red lightning. At this time, in a building no more than a street away from him, fire broke out, accompanied by various screams. Diddy, Dido. The fire truck appeared, and each firefighter held a water gun and looked at the rooms on the 20th floor. Sir, the water pressure is not enough. A firefighter said. The 20th floor is indeed very high, and there is no way for ordinary fire water guns to reach it. Moreover, the incident happened suddenly, and these firefighters did not have time to prepare. As a fire captain, it is also very difficult to face this situation. Immediately increase the pressure on the water cannon and call headquarters to have them arrive as soon as possible. At this point, this is the only way to use it, but the fire chief knows that with such a big fire, when reinforcements show up, the entire room may be burnt down. Sir, there is a child inside. A firefighter said. This is what the surrounding residents said. At this time, traffic on this street has been suspended. Both sides of the street are full of desperate people, pointing and pointing. That is a life. Fire chief watching all this anxiously, there was a look of anxiety on his face. But with such a big fire, there was no way he would let his men take risks. Their current equipment is not equipped to deal with such a disaster, and they are not prepared enough. Look, what is that? At this moment, a voice came from a man, pointing to the sky. Everyone looked in the direction he pointed. It was a red figure. He appeared in front of everyone at an extremely fast speed, and then ignored everything, rushed into the room with huge fire. It's Spider-Man, it's Spider-Man! Some children shouted, with excitement on their faces. During this time, news about Spider-Man has appeared in major newspapers. But so far, no one knows who he is. The firefighters who saw all this breathed a sigh of relief. With Spider-Man here, the child could basically be saved. Hey, look, there is another one. Another voice sounded, and everyone present exclaimed. A black figure fell from the sky, followed by the red figure and entered the room. Are there 2 Spider-Men? Everyone was surprised and found it incredible. The next moment, 2 figures, one red and one black, rushed out of the room. The man in red tights held a child in his arms and landed steadily. Good. Everyone clapped and cheered. The child was saved, and everyone was excited. And the black figure disappeared in front of everyone as quickly as possible. The one in red tights was naturally the little spider Peter Parker. He looked at the disappearing figure. The black figure shouted directly, Mr. Bruce. Then, little spider put down the child and left the place quickly. No one present knew what was going on. During this period of practice, little spider was able to completely shuttle through the city. So his speed was very fast. But even so, he didn't see the black figure. At this moment, the little spider was standing in a tall building. He took off his mask, with a trace of disappointment in his eyes. Is it because Mr. Bruce doesn't want to see me? The little spider didn't catch up with the black figure and was very disappointed. Peter, I haven't seen you for a few days, and your movements are getting faster and faster. At this moment, a familiar voice came from behind him. Little spider looked excited. He turned around and saw the familiar figure. It was Li Te. Mr. Bruce, I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. For the current little spider, Li Te is his guide and his idol. How could it be? I just want to try your current ability. Yes, I am very satisfied. Li Te said. From the little spider's actions just now, Li Te could tell that the training he gave to the little spider was not lazy. Otherwise, it would be impossible to progress so fast. Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Little Spider said, he was very happy to be praised by someone he admired. Then, Li Te didn't say anything and patted him on the shoulder very normally. Little Spider's panel was clearly presented in front of him. Name, Peter Benjamin Parker. Identity, high school student, Spider-Man. Abilities, Spider Sense, 100 GB, Spider Strength, 50 GB, Incomplete, Adsorption Ability, 100 GB, Spider Physique, 70 GB, Incomplete. Li Te's plan is indeed very effective, and the adsorption ability has been perfected. Now only 2 superpowers are incomplete, which is the most important part of the training plan that Li Te gave to Little Spider. At that moment, Li Te did not hesitate at all and directly chose to download. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the adsorption capacity is 100 GB, downloading now. Ding dong, the current download speed is 2 MB/s, valid within a range of 10 meters, came the system's voice. Presumably after this download, Li Te's download speed and download range will increase. He still has 500,000 yuan left. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was enough. Without much hesitation, Li Te started the download speed at 500 times. It didn't even take 2 minutes to fully download. Although 500,000 was distressing, Li Te didn't particularly care. Soon, he will complete the mission of the American team, and there will be a reward of 5 million. 500,000 is just a small number. Mr. Bruce, you came to me this time. Do you want me to do something? Little Spider was very anxious. He had no defense against Li Te. He only hoped that he could help Li Te. Li Te shook his head slightly. I hope, isn't it almost summer vacation? During the downtime, you'd better not use your abilities. Also, take your aunt and leave New York and come back after the summer vacation. Little Spider was stunned when he heard this. He didn't know what happened. Li Te didn't say much. The battle in New York was about to begin. Although Little Spider had superpowers, now was not the time for him to face these. After all, it was of course Li Te has to care about the people he trains. In the future, there will be more opportunities for Little Spider to appear. Chapter 49, From Weak to Strong. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Now Li Te wants to ensure the safety of the Little Spider. After all, the impact of that war was huge. And there is one most important point. After Li Te finishes downloading Iron Man's wisdom, he can design his own armor. He can even design the armor that Spider-Man will wear in the future. As Li Te's abilities continue to grow, he will have more and more people to rely on in the future. At this point, Li Te already had his own plan. After listening to Li Te's words, Little Spider had a pensive look on his face. He was smart and understood what Li Te meant. Something big is definitely going to happen these days. Although he wanted to help Li Te, he also wanted to listen to Li Te's words. Mr. Bruce, do you really not need my help? Little Spider said again. He knew that he was not capable enough, but he still did something for Li Te. This was his wish. Fight side by side with Li Te. We will have a long time ahead of us, there is no rush for this moment. Li Te smiled, reassuring Little Spider. He will not resist Li Te. For him, Li Te's explanation is the most important. Okay, Mr. Bruce, I listen to you. Little Spider said, reassuring Li Te. At this time, the system prompts sounded in Li Te's mind again. Ding dong, download completed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining the adsorption ability. After the sound of the system sounded, Li Te only felt his body change again. In particular, his palms had little barbs and were covered with thousands of suction cups. And his feet, too. A special ability that can absorb the earth and control the body shape. Now Li Te is almost the same as Little Spider in terms of ability. With the existence of this ability, he can survive in many environments with ease. Go back first, don't let your aunt worry. Li Te said. He had almost finished the day and had nothing else to do, so it was time to go back. Little Spider nodded heavily, and then left reluctantly. Li Te waited for Little Spider to leave with a look on his face. A smile appeared. His whole body turned into a bolt of lightning and disappeared into the night in an instant. Li Te climbed on various streets and buildings. Because of the tights, his adsorption ability was not hindered in the slightest. If it were ordinary shoes, his adsorption ability might be greatly reduced. It can be said that Li Te's ability is now approaching perfection, whether it is speed, strength, or defense, it has reached a very balanced state. Now, the only thing that needs to be done is to wait for the war to begin. Li Te stood on a building, pondering in his heart. After the war started, he was able to see more superheroes. This also meant that he could download more powerful superpowers. Moreover, as time went by, he will continue to become stronger and eventually reach an incredible level. Soon after, Li Te found the parking location of the vehicle and prepared to return to the Avengers base. Over the past few days, he could clearly feel that the agents of the Avengers base were getting more and more powerful. More and more people are coming. The guards are extremely strict. Some 6th level agents and 7th level agents who are not seen on weekdays have appeared. According to Li Te's guess, Nick Fury is now preparing to implement the Avengers plan. All arrangements have been made, it's just a matter of order, just waiting for an opportunity. And this opportunity is Loki coming to the Earth. Of course, no one except Li Te is very clear about this. After Li Te returned to the Avengers base, there was no instead of doing other things, go directly back to Team America. This mission is completed, but there are $5 million. Of course, such a huge sum of money is what Li Te wants very much. It can help him do many things. There is a system, and all the money he puts into the system will be spent in the most silent way. Even S.H.I.E.L.D. can't trace it. This is the power of the system. And when Li Te returned to the US team for training, when he was in that room, Captain America was still training. He was a very restrained person and would do this even if no one was supervising him. Of course he knew about Li Te's arrival, but he ignored it. The two did not talk. Everyone is doing their own thing. Li Te is also slowly getting familiar with his own abilities. He needs to be familiar with them from beginning to end. When fighting, he not only needs to understand the opponent's specific strength, but also needs to understand his own strength. Only in this way can he do it to achieve the best results. Afterwards, Li Te opened his own panel and checked his various abilities. Name, Li Te. Identity, Level 5 Agent. Abilities, Marksman, Anti-Aging Gene, Spider Sense, Super Serum Gene, Super Endurance, Human Shield Integration, Adsorption Ability, Super Speed, Super Strength, Immunity to Mind Control, Physical Self-Healing, Hand Strengthening, Eye Transformation, Pig Iron Body, Super Combat Skill, Knife Mastery, Firearms Mastery, Stealth. Warehouse, Vibranium Alloy Shield. Balance, 0. The panel presented by Light now can be said to be extremely luxurious. There are all kinds of abilities, including superhero-level weapons. Adding up these abilities, becoming a superhero is basically as simple as it gets. But Li Te had no plans to become a superhero. Everything he did was for himself. Especially his current body, under the triple effects of super serum genes and physical self-healing and anti-aging genes, has reached an incredible level. Not to mention one fatal injury, even 10 fatal injuries could not kill Li Te. His physical body can be said to be perfect, already beyond the limits of human beings. This is horrifying and unbelievable. In other aspects, Li Te is equally outstanding. There are also weapons such as the Vibranium Alloy Shield, which greatly enhances Li Te's combat power. He can now face the New York battle with ease without any worries. Grow from a weak agent to a superhero. Such an incredible thing. Li Te did it. Chapter 50, the 5 million reward has arrived. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. But now is not the time for Li Te to be proud. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there are many people who are more powerful than him. Although his current strength can be ranked as a superhero, his strength is only average at best. The strongest Avengers are powerful and will continue to grow in the future timeline. Even so, none of these powerful superheroes can stand up to Thanos. So for Li Te, now is just the beginning. Thinking of this, a light appeared in Li Te's eyes. He is very confident, and in just over a month, he has become so powerful. As long as he keeps growing like this, he will continue to get stronger. Then, he walked to Captain America again. Now, all abilities of the US team have reached the strongest state before falling asleep. So Li Ti's training plan also began to change. It was said that he was accompanying the US team for physical recovery training, but in fact it was Li Ti who took the lead. Especially in the previous battle between the two, Li Ti's strength exceeded Captain America's imagination. Therefore, the US team has no objection to Li Ti's arrangement. Li Ti adjusted the plan and left directly, and there was no communication between the two. But the sight in front of Captain America is not as cold as before, but with a kind of kindness. Time flies very fast, both Captain America and Li Ti are doing their own things. In this way, a week passed. During this time, Li Ti has become completely familiar with his own power and has mastered everything about himself. During this period, Li Ti had been searching for recent events. He is now a level 6 agent, with much higher authority than before. I also saw a lot of clues. He even found clues about the cosmic Rubik's Cube. Of course, Li Ti had a goal and knew the plot behind it. If it were anyone else, he would definitely not be able to find anything. And on this morning, Hill came to the place where Team USA and Li Ti were training. Bruce Little, your mission accomplished. After conducting various examinations for Captain America, Hill looked at Li Ti and said. She was surprised that in less than 2 weeks, Captain America's physical functions had recovered. Of course, there was Captain America's mental will and physical strength, but there is another indispensable condition. That is the plan Li Ti made before, which can allow Captain America to recover in such a short period of time. In this regard, she thinks highly of Li Ti. You have done very well, and the reward for this mission will be in your hands soon. Hill contacted some of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s logistics departments. He could get a reward of $5 million for helping the US team recover and train. This was also one of Li Ti's goals. When Li Ti received this answer, he felt he secretly breathed a sigh of relief. According to Li Ti's estimation, Loki will come to Earth within the next few days. Loki's arrival will be a serious blow to S.H.I.E.L.D. The entire S.H.I.E.L.D. will be affected. Loki's influence. Of course Li Ti has nothing to do with S.H.I.E.L.D. What matters to him is whether his rewards can be distributed on time. Now it seems that his worries are unnecessary. As long as the rewards are distributed, everything else will be easy. This is what I should do. Li Ti replied, nothing unusual. Hill nodded. He looked at Captain America with a smile. Captain, Coulson will give you a surprise soon, a gift for you to return to modern society. The surprise Hill was referring to was, of course, the US team's uniforms. Li Ti knew all of these. I'm just a 70-year-old antique, and I don't actually have much idea about modern society, but thank you anyway. Captain America replied, he seemed very calm. In fact, any person would not be able to accept it when he wakes up and finds that he is 70 years later. Because everything he is familiar with has changed. Okay, Captain, have a good rest. Li, you can go back with me. Hill didn't say anything more. She looked at Li Ti. The mission was completed, and of course it was time to go back. Li Ti nodded and looked at Captain America. Captain, we'll see you again soon. After saying that, Li Ti followed Hill out of the room. Next, he may really enter the plot of Avengers 1. For this, Li Ti has been preparing for a long time. Captain America looked at Li Ti's leaving figure. And immediately said loudly, Li, thank you. Li Ti didn't look back, just raised his hand. There were still many things waiting for him to do. Soon after, Li Ti and Hill got into a car and returned to the Avengers base. Your recent performance has been very good. Maybe you will be promoted to a 7th level agent soon. In the passenger seat, Hill looked through the rearview mirror at Li Ti, who was half leaning on the back seat of the car. Li Ti smiled and said nothing. Okay. Your reward has arrived. During this time, you should take a good rest. At this time, Hill looked at his phone and gave Li Ti some time to rest. Li Ti agreed casually, knowing that there would be no rest time. Sure enough, just when Hill and Li Ti's car arrived at the Avengers base, Hill's cell phone rang. Coulson, what's going on? What, that's not normal, I'll come over now. Hill, who had not yet entered the Avengers base, received a call from Coulson, and his expression changed drastically. After explaining a little bit, he started the helicopter and left. Li Ti looked at Hill's leaving figure, and his face was filled with emotion. He smiled. It finally started. As he expected, the plot of Avengers 1 has already entered at this time. The call Hill just received was definitely about the Cosmic Cube. The Cosmic Cube happened, something strange happened, Loki arrived. This was the beginning of Avengers 1. But Lee Te didn't pay attention, and returned to the Avengers base on his own. Because of tonight's action, S.H.I.E.L.D. will definitely suffer heavy losses. Eagle. His eyes were controlled. None of this had anything to do with him, the focus was on the back. Especially the final battle in New York. Chapter 51. Take advantage of the chaos to find the greatest improvement for yourself. But Lee Te had an idea. He already has enough balance in his hand to download another superhero power. The most recommended candidate is Iron Man. It's just that with his current qualifications, it's difficult to meet Iron Man. In the plot, it was Coulson who went to find Iron Man. So you can start with him. It's just that he immediately denied it when he thought about it. This matter cannot be rushed. If you are too active, you will arouse suspicion. Lee Te thought this way, now is not the time for him to show off. Before he has the strength to crush everything, he needs to be careful about many things. Then Lee Te returned to the base. The Avengers base is still not the same as before. The big difference is, except that there are more and more agents, everything is normal. What happened at Hill is the top secret of S.H.I.E.L.D., and not many people know about it. But it will soon be different. What happened tonight, it will make the entire S.H.I.E.L.D. turbulent. At this time, Lee Te stood on the second floor of the Avengers base, his eyes were dull. He just waited for everything quietly. Hey Lee, long time no see. Black Bill came and stood in front of Lee Te. Lee Te greeted the latter without saying much. Nothing happened recently, but why do I have a bad feeling? The black man Bill stood next to Lee Te and expressed his premonition. Lee Te looked at Bill with slight surprise and shook his head. The top management of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been taking a lot of actions recently, and people from all sides have taken actions. As long as being in S.H.I.E.L.D., that's pretty obvious. No one cares. Maybe something big will happen. Lee Te said undeniably. Diddy. At this moment, a piercing siren sounded. All the agents in the Avengers base stood there, a little at a loss. Since the Avengers base was established, no alarms have sounded. But in today, suddenly it rang. What is going on? Isn't this an alarm that only sounds for major events? A friend of mine said that an unusual incident occurred in one of our secret bases. Unusual time, what is that? The dozens of agents present looked confused and didn't know what was going on. But the sirens continued to sound. Everyone gather. At this time, a voice sounded, and it was Zoe. He walked out of the office quickly, with an anxious look on his face. Lee, you work with me to recruit people, the sooner the better. Zoe saw Lee Te on the second floor and said directly. Now in the Avengers base, the highest ranking agent is the 7th level agent. As a 6th level agent, Lee Te is also considered a high-level agent in today's base. Okay, Bill, you should contact the logistics department immediately and ask them to send out as many helicopters as they have. At this moment, Lee Te's heart was shocked, and he gave the order directly. The siren sounded, which meant that the Avengers base had entered an emergency state at this time. In an emergency state, the higher the level of the agent, the higher the authority. Yes. Black Bill looked at the flashing red warning lights and foreshadowed the seriousness of the incident. He immediately carried out Lee Te's order and began to mobilize helicopters. Everyone, and I mean everyone, gather at the heliport. Lee Te said. The panicked agents immediately calmed down. Yes, Mr. Bruce. His order went down, and all the agents in the Avengers base began to gather at this moment. Zoe entered the command room and began to execute all emergency matters. The originally peaceful Avengers base was mobilized at this time. The agents are well trained and their execution ability is very high. In less than 10 minutes, all emergency measures were prepared. A total of hundreds of agents gathered on the heliport of the Avengers base. At this time, in the base, there are a total of 5 7th level agents and 10 6th level agents. These senior agents are standing in front one by one. At this moment, they are facing a huge problem. That is, there are no higher level agents here. These more than 100 people who will direct. Let Lee do it. At this time, Zoe recommended Lee. I agree. These agents had lost to Lee Te in the trial. Lee Te, who was standing in front, nodded slightly, although he knew it was useless. It would take at least 20 minutes to reach that place at this speed. But no matter what, he must make a decision. At least, he must join Coulson. Okay, Zoe, tell everyone. Li Te said, asking Zoe to tell her all the information she received. Zoe did not hesitate, he stood up directly with a very solemn look in his eyes. I will only explain one situation now. One of our secret bases was attacked. The enemy was a man who claimed to be from the Asgard domain. Moreover, Hawkeye rebelled for some unknown reason. When this sentence came out, everyone present was shocked. Asgard God's domain? Hawkeye's betrayal. This was something unbelievable to them. But Zoe ignored their shock and said again. Now Director Fury is facing the final enemy, and Mr. Coulson is adding reinforcements. We must act immediately. Keep your spirits up. The enemy we face this time is very extraordinary. Zoe looked at everyone and said directly. Then, he looked at Li Te. Now Li Te is the temporary commander elected by them. Everything in Xianzhe needs Li Te to make decisions. Zoe, you bring 70 people to reinforce the director. If there is no helicopter, use all available means of transportation. They must arrive as soon as possible. I will cooperate with Mr. Coulson and the others. Now, act immediately. Li Te didn't hesitate at all. And directly issued the order to divide the troops into 2 groups. He knew that there was no result in doing so, but he could at least reach Coulson's side. That was enough. Yes, sir. Everyone said in unison and took action immediately. Chapter 52. Li Te only brought 10 people with him, all of whom were level 4 and level 5 agents. There were other elites who he arranged to reinforce Nick Fury. Everyone set off, with Li Te as the commander and 10 people with 2 helicopters. Their purpose was to join Coulson, while the others stayed at the Avengers base. Soon, the helicopter started. Because the secret base had already reported their location, they headed directly towards their destination. At this time, in a place in New York, the entire land collapsed in large areas, and countless civilians screamed. The ground was covered with debris and police, and firefighters were rushing to evacuate the crowd. In the dark night sky, 3 or 4 helicopters continued to pursue. Behind a car, a long-haired man wearing a green robe looked extremely evil. But his body revealed a terrifying power. This kind of power does not belong to the earth at all. Even if there are all kinds of bullets around, there is no way to hurt him in the slightest. It seemed that his body was invulnerable. In his hand, there was a blue energy stone inlaid on a spear. On the energy stone, there is a heart-stopping power emerging, shining with dazzling light. And behind him, there were 3 or 4 cars following him. Dr. Eric Sevig and Hawkeye were sitting in the car. They looked calm and had a strange brilliance in their eyes. It was obvious that the 2 of them and the people in the car were controlled. Behind these vehicles, 1 or 2 helicopters were in pursuit. These helicopters are equipped with large-caliber machine guns, which are so powerful that they can penetrate even steel. But the man with long green hair was extremely calm. He is the lord of the Asgard Palace, the son of Father God Odin, the younger brother of Thor, the evil god Loki. On the helicopter, SHIELD director Nick Fury is in pursuit. The 2 sides kept fighting, and Hawkeye was so powerful that almost no arrow failed. Nick Fury has no special abilities, and his agents are no match for Hawkeye. This makes them very passive. Coulson, how long until our reinforcements arrive? Nelfree said into the walkie-talkie. It will take a while, sir, I have notified the base. Coulson replied that they were also reinforcing, but they acted a little later and could no longer catch up. After saying that, Nick Fury put down the walkie-talkie in his hand and concentrated on dealing with Loki and others below. The cosmic cube must not be taken away by them. In these years, S.H.I.E.L.D. has been keeping the cosmic cube and knows the power contained in it. So no matter what, he must get it back. But they really can't deal with Loki and others now, even with their firepower very fierce. But it didn't have much effect. On the other side, Li Te was sitting on top of the helicopter and had already found Coulson's location. Their reinforcements were coming very quickly, but the outcome was already doomed. Report, the director's helicopter has crashed. On the helicopter, the pilot looked at Li Te and said. It is indeed true. Although the details of the Marvel Cinematic Universe he traveled through have changed slightly, the direction of major events is still exactly the same. According to the current development of the plot, Nick Fury will officially implement the Avengers plan. Soon, Li Te finally reunited with Carlson. Li, aren't you on vacation? Carlson asked, but his face was extremely anxious. Now the life and death of Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., is unknown. If something like this happens, it may be impossible to take a vacation. Li Te replied, and Coulson nodded. With Li Te here, their subsequent actions may be easier. Director, Mr. Fury, can you hear me? Coulson shouted again into the intercom. Li Te stood aside and didn't say much. The Rubik's Cube has been taken away by an unknown enemy. The voice of Nick Fury came from the other side of the intercom. There are still many people trapped under the secret base, what should we do? Hill said, she was on the other side. At this time, on Fury's side, a large force had begun to reinforce. But it was impossible to catch Loki. On Coulson's side, there were Li Te and others, the base moved very quickly. But it was still too late. Coulson, you should return to the base immediately and activate the level 7 alarm. Judging from the current situation, the war may have begun. Nick Fury issued the highest order, and both Hill and Coulson had solemn looks in their eyes. The matter is more serious than they believed. Yes sir, reinforcements from the base have arrived and I will begin preparations. After saying that, Coulson ignored the others and turned off the intercom. Li Te stood aside and didn't say a word from the beginning to the end. The secret base where S.H.I.E.L.D. studied the cosmic cube had completely collapsed and turned into ruins. This time, S.H.I.E.L.D. can be said to have suffered heavy losses. Under that secret base, there are many elite agents. How many of them can survive, few people know. Even Coulson sighed slightly, knowing this seriousness. They are going to start another plan. Li, you and I are in the same car, and everyone else will return to the base. Coulson gave the order directly, and everyone began to move. As for the finishing work, other departments will naturally arrange it. In the car, Coulson sat next to Li Te, his eyes were very solemn. Li, maybe we are going to start a war. Li Te nodded. He had already made preparations. During this period, Coulson made several phone calls in succession and was arranging some things. Li Te did not look sideways and did not care too much. Because what they were going to do, Li Te it was clear. Soon after, everyone returned to the base. But Fury did not show up. Li Te knew that he might have started the plan. Coulson took Li Te to show the inside of the base. He took out a mobile phone and started make a call. I know you are on the 3rd floor of the Salon Sky building, and there are our F-22 fighter jets 8 miles away. Tell that woman to listen, or we will blow up the whole street. Coulson moved very quickly, and he said a long sentence. Not long after, he spoke again. Go back to the base quickly. The situation here is very urgent. Patton is being controlled. After that, Coulson waited for a few minutes. From beginning to end, Li Te stood behind Coulson. He naturally knew who Coulson was talking to, so there was no need to eavesdrop. Soon after, Coulson hung up the phone and turned to look at Li Te. Li, next I will take you to participate in something. Don't ask too much. You will understand naturally. Now, I will take you to meet someone. Coulson's tone was extremely solemn, while Li Te was moved in his heart. But he still asked with a little doubt, who is it? Coulson smiled, walked to Li Te's side, and patted Li Te on the shoulder. Chairman of Stark Industries, playboy, billionaire, Iron Man, Tony Stark. After saying this, a glimmer of light appeared in Li Te's eyes. He has been waiting for a long time. Chapter 52, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Preparation. The plot begins. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Li Te only brought 10 people, they were all level 4 and level 5 agents. There were also other elites who were arranged by him to reinforce Nick Fury. Everyone set off, with Li Te as the commander, and there were 10 people with 2 helicopters. Their purpose was to fight with Coulson. As for the other people, they stayed at the Avengers base. Soon, the helicopter started. Because the secret base had already reported its position, they went directly to their destination. At this time, in a place in New York, the entire land collapsed in large areas, and countless civilians screamed. The ground was full of ruins and police, and firefighters were urgently evacuating the crowd. In the dark night sky, 3 or 4 helicopters continued to pursue. Behind a car, a man wearing green, the long-haired man in the robe, looks extremely evil. But his body reveals a terrifying power. This power does not belong to the earth at all. Even if there are all kinds of bullets and bullets around, there is no way to hurt him. Not at all. It seems that his body is invulnerable. In his hand, a spear is inlaid with a blue energy stone. On the energy stone, there is a heart-stopping power emerging, shining with dazzling light. And there were 3 or 4 cars following behind. Dr. Eric Sevig and Hawkeye were sitting in the car. They looked calm and had a strange light in their eyes. It was obvious that the 2 of them and the people in the car were all under control. Behind these vehicles, there were 1 or 2 helicopters chasing. On these helicopters a large caliber machine gun is prepared, which is so powerful that it can penetrate even steel. But the man with long green hair was extremely calm. He is the lord of the Asgard Palace, the son of Father God Odin, the younger brother of Thor, the evil god Loki. On the helicopter, SHIELD director Nick Fury is in pursuit. The 2 sides kept fighting, and Hawkeye was so powerful that almost no arrow failed. Nick Fury has no special abilities, and his agents are no match for Hawkeye. This makes them very passive. Coulson, how long until our reinforcements arrive? Nelfree said into the walkie-talkie. It will take a while, sir, I have notified the base. Coulson replied that they were also reinforcing, but they acted a little later and could no longer catch up. After saying that, Nick Fury put down the walkie-talkie in his hand and concentrated on dealing with Loki and others below. The cosmic cube must not be taken away by them. In these years, S.H.I.E.L.D. has been keeping the cosmic cube and knows the power contained in it. So no matter what, he must get it back. But they really can't deal with Loki and others now, even with their firepower very fierce. But it didn't have much effect. On the other side, Lee Te was sitting on top of the helicopter and had already found Coulson's location. Their reinforcements were coming very quickly, but the outcome was already doomed. Report, the director's helicopter has crashed. On the helicopter, the pilot looked at Lee Te and said. It is indeed true. Although the details of the Marvel Cinematic Universe he traveled through have changed slightly, the direction of major events is still exactly the same. According to the current development of the plot, Nick Fury will officially implement the Avengers plan. Soon, Lee Te finally reunited with Coulson. Lee, aren't you on vacation? Coulson asked, but his face was extremely anxious. Now the life and death of Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., is unknown. If something like this happens, it may be impossible to take a vacation. Lee Te replied, and Coulson nodded. With Lee Te here, their subsequent actions may be easier. Director, Mr. Fury, can you hear me? Coulson shouted again into the intercom. Lee Te stood aside and didn't say much. The Rubik's Cube has been taken away by an unknown enemy. The voice of Nick Fury came from the other side of the intercom. There are still many people trapped under the secret base, what should we do? Hill said, she was on the other side. At this time, on Fury's side, a large force had begun to reinforce. But it was impossible to catch Loki. On Coulson's side, there were Lee Te and others, the base moved very quickly. But it was still too late. Coulson, you should return to the base immediately and activate the level 7 alarm. Judging from the current situation, the war may have begun. Nick Fury issued the highest order, and both Hill and Coulson had solemn looks in their eyes. The matter was more serious than they thought. Yes sir, reinforcements from the base have arrived and I will begin preparations. After saying that, Coulson ignored the others and turned off the intercom. Lee Te stood aside and didn't say a word from the beginning to the end. The secret base where S.H.I.E.L.D. studied the cosmic cube had completely collapsed and turned into ruins. This time, S.H.I.E.L.D. can be said to have suffered heavy losses. Under that secret base, there are many elite agents. How many of them can survive, few people know. Even Coulson sighed slightly, knowing this seriousness. They are going to start another plan. Lee, you and I are in the same car, and everyone else will return to the base. Coulson gave the order directly, and everyone began to move. As for the finishing work, other departments will naturally arrange it. In the car, Coulson sat next to Lee Te, his eyes were very solemn. Lee, maybe we are going to start a war. Lee Te nodded. He had already made preparations. During this period, Coulson made several phone calls in succession and was arranging some things. Lee Te did not look sideways and did not care too much. Because what they were going to do, Lee Te it was clear. Soon after, everyone returned to the base. But Fury did not show up. Lee Te knew that he might have started the plan. Carlson took Li Te to show the inside of the base. He took out a mobile phone and started make a call. I know you are on the third floor of the Salon Sky building, and there are our F-22 fighter jets 8 miles away. Tell that woman to listen, or we will blow up the whole street. Coulson moved very quickly, and he said a long sentence. Not long after, he spoke again. Go back to the base quickly. The situation here is very urgent. Patton is being controlled. After that, Coulson waited for a few minutes. From beginning to end, Li Te stood behind Coulson. He naturally knew who Coulson was talking to, so there was no need to eavesdrop. Soon after, Coulson hung up the phone and turned to look at Li Te. Li, next I will take you to participate in something. Don't ask too much, you will understand naturally. Now, I will take you to meet someone. Coulson's tone was extremely solemn, while Li Te was moved in his heart. But he still asked with a little doubt, who is it? Coulson smiled, walked to Li Te's side, and patted Li Te on the shoulder. Chairman of Stark Industries, playboy, billionaire, Iron Man, Tony Stark. After saying this, a glimmer of light appeared in Li Te's eyes. He has been waiting for a long time. Chapter 53. Li Te had been waiting for Coulson's words. He had anticipated all this in his previous actions. In addition, his own strength has long been recognized by Coulson, so this time Coulson will definitely take him with him when he goes to find Iron Man. Everything is under Li Te's control. It seems that Sir's plan this time is not simple. Li Te teased, but Coulson didn't say anything. In the past month or so, Li Te had been very satisfied with several missions. Li Te's strength was also what he valued. In addition, Coulson had originally I have a sense of awe towards Iron Man, and looking for Li Te also gives me courage. You will know these things soon. Coulson smiled. Li Te was also promoted by him, so Coulson wanted to let Li Te participate in this plan. An unprecedented plan. Moreover, Li Te definitely has the qualifications. Okay, let's go. Li Te said. As one of the three giants of the Avengers, Iron Man is extremely terrifying in terms of status and strength. Especially those black technologies that almost everyone admires the most. And this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Iron Man's is the top priority. In addition, Li Te has completed the mission and has a reward of 5 million. With a speed of 5,000 times, Li Te has the confidence to download Iron Man's special ability. I hope I can download Iron Man's special ability this time. Super Brain. Li Te thought to himself. At least he should download his Mark armor, which is a big killer. Coulson nodded, and then set off with Li Te. Just as Li Te and Coulson got into the car, on the way to Stark Industries building, the voice of the system sounded in Li Te's mind. Congratulations to the host for officially entering the Avengers plot and turning on the energy value function. Ding dong, the energy value function has been activated. Turn on the one-click download function and enable the upgrade function. Ding dong, energy values are being calculated. Energy value function? There was a trace of doubt in Li Te's eyes. But at this moment, a huge memory appeared in Li Te's mind. These memories were all about the new functions of the system. It took a long time for Li Te to turn the system on. All the memories were digested. At this moment, there was a kind of astonishment in his eyes. The energy value function, simply put, is the energy value that Li Te, as the host, obtains based on the enemy's strength when he fights with the enemy. And you don't need to completely kill the enemy or defeat the enemy. As long as you fight, you can get energy values. Of course, you can get energy values from killing and defeating. And this energy value has the following biggest functions at this stage. First, with enough energy value, you can perform one-click downloading. Yes, it is one-click downloading. It does not require any acceleration at all and the download is completed directly. Just like before, when Li Te downloaded huge data and superpowers, he needed to accelerate, otherwise it takes a long time. But if you have enough energy value, you can download it with one click. However, the energy value can only download the ability required by the energy value, and the data return can only download the ability required by the data, which cannot be universal. Then the first function is ability synthesis. Similar abilities are synthesized and then transformed into more powerful abilities. However, only similar abilities cannot be synthesized with different abilities. The stronger the ability, the more energy is consumed. Finally, which is the upgrade of hero-level equipment. For example, the vibranium alloy shield that Li Te obtained before consumes energy and is upgraded to become stronger equipment, and it is an all-round upgrade. For example, Li Te now has a Mark I armor, using the energy value, can be directly upgraded to the Mark II armor. If Li Te has enough energy value, he can even directly upgrade to the Mark 50 Nano armor from Avengers 3. It can be said that he has recently opened the energy value function is extremely terrifying and powerful. So when Li Te, who knew all this, saw this, his eyes were filled with shock. The function of this unlimited download system simply exceeded his imagination. Moreover, when the system gave in the memory that emerged, there will be more powerful functions in the future, but they have not been activated yet. However, he has only turned on the one-click download function now. As for many synthesis and enhancements, they have not been turned on for the time being. In Li Te's memory, to unlock more functions, you must constantly unlock the plot. How to unlock the plot, that is, he must follow the plot of the existing movie universe. It is best not to interfere, otherwise it will be judged as disturbing the plot and cannot unlock other functions. Of course, it is not an easy thing to disrupt the plot. Unless he disrupts a major event. For example, the Mind Stone must be obtained by Hydra, otherwise the plot of Avengers 2 cannot unfold. This is the point. As for the others, as long as Li Te does not go out of line, it will not have much impact. According to Li Te's understanding of the system, when he is strong enough, he can do whatever he wants. But at this stage, he should go to the Avengers 3 plots are enough. Therefore, in addition to downloading, I also need to advance the plot. Li Te pondered and understood all this at the moment. The power of this system is indeed beyond his imagination. Just seeing the use of the energy value is enough to make him defy the sky. At this moment, Li Te thinks about facing Thanos in the future. Even Yuuchi is the hero, with unparalleled confidence. What's wrong, Li, are you feeling unwell? Coulson was sitting in the passenger seat, looking at Li Te's expression that looked uncomfortable, and said immediately. It's okay sir. Li Te smiled and acted extremely normal. Coulson nodded without any doubt. At this time, Li Te opened his system panel again without any hesitation. Name, Li Te. Identity, Level 5 Agent. Abilities, Marksman, Anti-Aging Gene, Spider Sense, Super Serum Gene. Super Endurance, Human Shield Integration, Adsorption Ability, Super Speed, Super Strength, Immunity to Mind Control, Physical Self-Healing, Hand Strengthening, Eye Transformation, Pig Iron Body, Super Combat Skill, Knife Mastery, Firearms Mastery, Stealth. Warehouse, Vibranium Alloy Shield. Balance, $5 million. Energy value, 20 points, can be used for one-click download and one-click upgrade. Sure enough, there is an extra column for energy value in the panel, but it can only be used for one-click download and one-click upgrade. As for synthesis, it is still powerful and will be gradually unlocked. The extra 20 energy points were obtained from the opponents he had defeated or killed before. He just shook his head slightly, with a hint of bitterness on his face. He has experienced many battles before, but he only has 20 energy points. It can be seen that obtaining this energy value is extremely difficult. But Li Te didn't care. And there's the Battle of New York. Li, we're here. At this moment, Coulson's voice came over. Chapter 54. At this time, Li Te also completely came back from his thoughts and looked at the building in front of him. Stark Industries building. Just when Li Te got out of the car, he saw the entire Stark Industries building light up again. This is a difficult guy to deal with, so we have to be careful what we say when the time comes. Coulson stood under the building with a wry smile on his face. Then, the two of them entered the building together. Because of Coulson's special status, the security guards in the building did not stop them. But they did. There is no way to enter the elevator. There are not many security guards in the whole building, but they are fully controlled by the Intelligent System Security System. To put it simply, it is the artificial intelligence system invented by Iron Man, Jarvis. Hello, I'd like to see Mr. Stark. Coulson stood in front of the elevator and said to a screen. Hello Mr. Coulson, Mr. Stark is not convenient right now. A voice came from the screen, informing that Iron Man was nowhere to be seen. Li Te was waiting on the side. This voice was the vision of the future. But it was not mature yet. Coulson shook his head slightly and hit in desperation. A few phone calls. He used the power of SHIELD to modify Jarvis. Ding! Sure enough, a minute later, the elevator door opened. Lee Te and Coulson also entered the elevator directly. This elevator is Iron Man's special elevator. It can go directly to the top floor and is the fastest way to see Iron Man. Then, Coulson called Iron Man again. The other party did not answer, which made Coulson very helpless. That's his character. Coulson looked at Lee Te with a bitter smile and said, "There is nothing we can do. Even S.H.I.E.L.D. can't do anything to get Iron Man." Ding! When Cole finished saying this, the elevator door opened. This is the highest floor of the Stark Industries building, where Iron Man works daily. Various high-tech equipment appeared in front of Lee Te, as well as a full range of imaging operating systems. Everything looks very futuristic. This is what Lee Te admires about Iron Man, who has a genius-like mind. At this time, in the center of the office, a man in black sat on the sofa, holding red wine in his hand. He has a special temperament. This is a temperament that can only be cultivated by people who have been in high positions for a long time. But Lee Te did not see Pepper. It seems that the Marvel world he is in, the plot, the direction is inconvenient, but there are certain changes. Almost none of the key characters who cannot have too much impact on the plot appear. "Hey Coulson, are you here to celebrate the success of Stark Tower's new energy source with me?" Iron Man, Tony Stark, looked at Coulson and said, shaking the red wine glass in his hand. "Tony, I have something very important to discuss with you," Coulson said, his expression serious. "Are you asking me to save the world again?" Who is this gentleman?" Iron Man didn't pay attention, but looked at Lee Te with a little doubt. Then, Lee Te didn't hesitate at all. He walked directly forward, stretched out his palm, and said calmly, "Hello Mr. Stark, I am Bruce Leet, a level 6 agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Although Iron Man is proud, he is not the kind of rude person. And he knows what kind of organization S.H.I.E.L.D. is. Although he pretends not to care on the surface, he still takes it seriously in his heart." Lee Te is a science person brought the person, so he did not doubt it and directly extended his palm. "Hello, Tony Stark." And at the moment when the two came into contact, all of Iron Man's abilities were clearly in front of him. Name, Tony Stark. Identity, Iron Man, Chairman of Stark Industries. Abilities, the most powerful brain, energy value, 10,000, business management, 50 GB, top fighting skills, 200 MB, Mark 7 armor, energy value, 50. Iron Man doesn't have many abilities, only 4. But the 2 abilities that Iron Man possesses have already made him one of the big 3 Avengers. That is his most powerful brain and Mark armor. It's just that Iron Man's most powerful brain and his armor cannot be downloaded with data, only energy values. Especially the amount of energy required to download his most powerful brain is terrifying. After all, the Mark armor is unique to Iron Man, and the core technology is in his hands. These are all unique functions. Lee Te was not surprised at all by this. Iron Man's brain is his most powerful weapon and the most precious in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Therefore, the data cannot be downloaded, and the required energy value is as high as 10,000 points. Of course, if Lee Te has 10,000 energy points, he can download it with one click without any waiting. As for the Mark armor, Lee Te currently only has 20 energy points, which is still short of 30 points. Lee Te can foresee that in the future, he can completely get rid of the sword, and all downloads will use energy. Of course, only when the data size reaches a certain level can it be converted into energy value. Abilities that can be calculated purely based on energy values are the most powerful and terrifying. Iron Man also has 2 other abilities that can be downloaded using data. It's a pity that Lee Te doesn't need it. He can foresee that heroes who appear in the future may only have energy points to download. It seems that I have to find a way to obtain energy points. There are only 30 points left before I can download Iron Man's Mark armor. Lee Te thought in his mind that he was extremely eager for the Mark armor. With the energy value, he only needed a set of Mark armor, and he could use the energy value to upgrade equipment. After waiting, he almost did not need to download it again. Iron Man's energy. And Iron Man's most powerful brain. Which is almost the most precious thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is this brain that can rival the gods. Thinking of this, Li was slightly disappointed because he could not download it. Te became excited again. He just couldn't download it for the time being, not that he couldn't download it. As long as he harvested energy points, everything about Iron Man would be his. So, he had to act quickly. Tony, look at this. At this time, Coulson spoke. He was holding a laptop in his hand and placed it on Iron Man's hand. Li Te narrowed his eyes slightly. There was all the information about the first generation of Avengers. Moreover, he was going to need it soon. Met them. And after Iron Man opened his notebook, his eyes changed. It seems that there is a lot to do tonight. Chapter 55, New Target, Secret Plot. Iron Man knows about the Avengers' plan, but he doesn't know the members. Now that Coulson appeared in front of him with all the information about the first generation Avengers, he was of course very serious. He knew before that he was not the only hero in this world. He also knew about the other people, but he didn't know the specific information. These things are all in the hands of Shield. Coulson, please go back first. I have to do my homework tonight. I will be there. Iron Man looked at the information of the entire series of images and said intently. He is focusing on this now. Okay, I'll report to Director Fury. Coulson smiled and let out a long breath. This matter was finally completed. Then, he and Li Te looked at each other and prepared to leave this place. Li Te looked back at Iron Man again, and then turned around directly. He needs to accumulate energy quickly. The strongest brain and mark armor are too important. Almost what Li Te wants to get most at this stage. If he has the strongest brain of Iron Man, as long as it is related to learning, he can almost master things in a short time. Iron Man is definitely a genius. His most powerful ability requires such a large amount of energy that it is definitely worth the money. In that brain, there are a lot of physics and all kinds of knowledge in other fields. With that brain, you can be said to be the best in the world in terms of invention and learning ability. The strongest genius and scientific genius in the Marvel world is not called for nothing. From a certain extent, Iron Man's brain is more useful than the Infinity Stones. Just like Dr. Banner, he is also a PhD in physics. But in this area of knowledge, Iron Man will be far behind Iron Man in the future. Street? The two are completely incomparable. This is also Li Te's ultimate goal, to meet Iron Man. And the Mark armor is definitely an extremely powerful existence. There are many people who want to own that iron armor. Then it is a real black technology, a powerful weapon unique to Iron West that is almost impossible for outsiders to copy. This is another reason why Iron Man is powerful. As long as he downloads it successfully, it belongs to Li Te. As for energy, he has a system Li Te in the warehouse can be replenished at any time. It is much more powerful than the arc reactor on Iron Man's chest. And once the armor is damaged, the system warehouse can be restored as long as there is enough time. This saves Li Te a lot of time. Trouble. You have to hurry up. Li Te murmured. All this made Li Te very excited. So he must take action to obtain energy value. It can be said that this is the most important thing in Li Te's heart. At this time, in Li Te's, there was already a vague plan. Soon after, Li Te and Coulson walked out of the Stark Industries building. The two returned to the car and put it down soon after. Come on, let's go pick up the captain. Coulson turned to look at Li Te with a smile on his face. He had decided to let Li Te participate in this mission. Li, we have a secret base that will definitely surprise you when the time comes. Coulson said mysteriously, but Li Te just smiled. You will be meeting the captain soon. It seems that you are also very nervous, right? Coulson smiled awkwardly after hearing this. In fact, he was really nervous. In his heart, Captain America was a legend. Soon, the two appeared at the previous Avengers base. Captain America was already waiting. After a while, Fury had already left. A few people exchanged greetings, and Captain America was very familiar with Li Te, so the two of them didn't say much. Then, they boarded the Quinjet together. This is the latest developed by Shield fighters, both in terms of speed and technology, are among the best in the world. There is an old acquaintance on the fighter plane. Black Widow, Natasha. After seeing Li Te, Black Widow had a look on her face. A look of surprise. The last time she saw Li Te was only a 5th level agent. But during this time, she heard a lot of news about Li Te. Then everyone greeted each other, and Black Widow sat on the cab. With a charming smile on his face. "Gentlemen, we are ready to go." After that, she started the fighter plane directly. The place where they were fighting this time was not at the Avengers base, nor in S.H.I.E.L.D. At this time, on the fighter plane, Coulson was talking to Captain America. "Hey Lee." When Li Te began to think about future plans, Coulson's voice rang out, and his expression was serious. Li Te's eyes were dull. He knew what Coulson was going to say. "Since you have already participated in this plan, I can tell you many things." Coulson values Li Te very much. Although Li Te is only a 6th level agent, in Coulson's eyes, he is already the most elite agent under his command. So at this time, Coulson is ready to take revenge. Li Te roughly told Li Te about Hawkeye, about Captain America, about Black Widow and Iron Man. Although Li Te knew the whole story, he still pretended to be shocked. For ordinary people, even for agents, this is indeed an unimaginable thing. It's incredible. After Li Te heard these things, the expression on his face was extremely shocked. Coulson understood, and he patted Li Te on the shoulder. But Coulson didn't know that these were actually Li Te's pretense. "We need to be careful in what happens next, because this incident is beyond the boundaries of our shield." Although he knew that Li Te was very strong, in Coulson's heart, Li Te was just an ordinary agent. How could a normal person fight against those terrifying beings? So today's S.H.I.E.L.D. is only responsible for logistics and support work. The ones who really want to take action are those who have been chosen as the Avengers. "Mr. Coulson, if Captain and the others are on a mission, can I join them?" Li Te suddenly remembered something and said immediately. According to the development of the plot, they will find Loki soon. As long as they find Loki and fight with him, they can obtain energy points. Although Loki is in Marvel, they are not very strong in the movie universe, but they are still from the Asgard. There must be a lot of energy points. And this time Loki is pretending to surrender, while Li Te is doing it to gain energy points. Of course I want to see the second one. Let's see if Loki's abilities can be downloaded. He must keep getting stronger. To read the ununderlined version of the novel, please download Philu. Chapter 56. But Coulson frowned slightly after hearing Li Te's words. He was embarrassed. Because in his eyes, Li Te was just a normal person. "Coulson, Li is strong and I agree with him on this mission with us." Captain America spoke. He knew Li Te very well. In the previous battles, he had not been on top temporarily. But Coulson was slightly surprised after hearing Captain America's words. He knew Captain America will not judge others easily. "Okay, Li, you can go on the mission with the captain." When Captain America spoke, Coulson would certainly not refuse. Besides, he had also learned about Li Te's strength. A smile appeared on the Black Widow sitting in the cab. She was full of interest in Li Te. Everyone continued talking, time passed little by little. They were in the air and flew a long distance. "Friends, we are almost there." At this moment, Black Widow's voice came. Li Te and Captain America stood in the cab of the fighter plane, looking down. A huge mothership, like a steel behemoth, lay across the sea, extremely spectacular. There are many Quinjet fighters on it, and the entire mothership is in the vast sea, giving people an unparalleled feeling. Of course, this is only for some ordinary people. Of course Li Te knows what this is, it is a secret of S.H.I.E.L.D. base, helicarrier. But this was also the first time he had seen this. Soon after, the fighter plane landed. Captain America and Li Te got off the fighter plane and watched this spectacular scene. On the deck of the helicarrier, the man looked at the surroundings with a little surprise. But his eyes were full of vigilance and restraint, and he seemed to be uneasy about what was happening around him. It seemed that they were trying to deal with him. And when he heard the roar of the landing fighter planes, after making a sound, he turned around and saw Li Te and the others. "Hello doctor, they told me you were coming." Captain America looked at the person in front of him in surprise. "Yes Captain, I've heard about you too." The man spoke with a smile on his face. But the caution in his eyes could be seen by anyone. Li Te stood aside, with a glimmer of light in his eyes. After officially entering the plot of Avengers 1, he could see the most powerful character in the first generation. Several superheroes. And the one in front of him is the Hulk. At that moment, he walked forward without any hesitation. "Hello Doc, I'm Bruce Little." Hulk, also known as Dr. Banner, was stunned, then nodded and politely extended his palm. "Hello, Mr. Lee." Because both of them are named Bruce, of course he called him this to distinguish him. And the moment the two touched, Dr. Banner's confidence appeared in Li Ti's mind. Name, Bruce Banner. Identity, Hulk, PhD in Physics. Abilities, Hulk's Fury, Energy Value, 10,000, Hulk's Power, Energy Value, 30,000, Hulk Body, Energy Value, 3,000, Regeneration Power, 1000 GB. Hulk has only 4 simple superpowers. But every superpower is extremely terrifying and powerful. Especially the most important Hulk's Fury. As we all know, Hulk's most powerful power lies in his anger. The angrier the Hulk becomes, the stronger he becomes. The extremely angry Hulk can easily destroy a city. And Hulk's Fury and Hulk Power are closely related. If you want to unleash the Hulk's greatest strength, you must obtain his Hulk's Fury. Just like the plot in Avengers 2, the Hulk who is not angry enough will be checked and balanced by the Hulk anti-Hulk armor. But if it's an extremely angry Hulk, not even the Hulk Buster suit can stop him. Unfortunately, Li Te did not have enough energy value. This made Li Te look forward to the New York battle even more. Only in the battle could he gain energy points. The biggest problem facing Li Te now is that he seems to be unable to download Hulk's most powerful ability. This can be said to be quite tragic. But fortunately, Hulk also has a regenerative power, which does not require energy at all. Because although the power of regeneration is powerful, it is not the power that Hulk is most proud of. Everything is presented in the form of data size. This is also a self-healing ability, but it is extremely powerful. According to Li Te's understanding, this kind of regeneration power can almost regenerate severed limbs. This is equivalent to the power of Deadpool and Wolverine, although this power of regeneration requires a lot of physical energy. But if Li Te possesses this power, he can remain immortal even if his heart is missing. Unless Li Te is directly blasted into pieces. As for other abilities, Li Te can continuously accumulate energy values and then download them. Li Te was also helpless, as if a golden mountain was placed in front of him, but he couldn't use it. But one day, whether it's Iron Man, Hulk, or Thor's abilities, he wants to download them all to become the strongest. Afterwards, Li Te immediately decided to download the power of regeneration. Although this data is as high as 1000 GB, under accelerated conditions, he can complete it in 4 or 5 minutes. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the size of the power of regeneration is 1000 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 5 MB/s, valid within a range of 20 meters. Without hesitation, Li Te spent 1 million and directly turned on the 1000-fold acceleration. Li Te, we have other things to do, let's go. Just when Li Te completed the connection, Coulson's voice came over. This shocked Li Te. Within 4 minutes, he must stay 20 meters around Drive Banner. Otherwise, the connection will be interrupted. 1 million is wasted. Okay Mr. Coulson. At this time, Li Te can't let Coulson have any abnormality. Especially the system on his body, which is all he relies on. Nice to meet you, Dr. Banner, and the truth will stay with you a little longer. Li Te laughed. This made Banner and Captain America look weird. Who doesn't know how scary the guy inside Dr. Banner is? Li Te actually wants to stay with Banner for a while? This is too courageous, right? Mr. Lee, we still have a lot of time. Banner said, without doubting Li Te. Then Li Te let go of his palm, greeted everyone, and left with Coulson. 20 meters, must be within 20 meters. Li Te's heart secretly calculating. Although he has extra swords, there are still many superheroes waiting for him. So, Li Te must keep one hand for himself. But now, Coulson is calling himself, he must delay time. Chapter 57. Stay within 20 meters within the specified time. Li Te thought to himself. But his expression did not change at all, but slowly walked towards Coulson. Mr. Coulson, is this helicarrier our secret base? Li Te asked casually, secretly stalling for time. Not bad, how about it, let it open your eyes. Coulson said with a smile, without any doubt. He was already 10 meters away, and there were still 2 minutes left. Li Te calculated that his pace was very slow, but Coulson was very fast. Is this our new fighter plane? Why haven't I seen it before? Suddenly, Li Te looked at a fighter plane and said, with a curious look on his face. At this time, Coulson also stopped and was not impatient. He just explained casually. 1 minute left. Li Te's first time feeling the urgency of time, he was already 15 meters away from Dr. Banner. At this moment, Banner was constantly moving and would leave this distance at any time. At this moment, Li Te stood upright in cold sweat and his body was trembling slightly. Coulson, gentlemen. The latter noticed Li Te's strange behavior and hurriedly came over. What's wrong, Li? Li Te shook his head, gasped for air, and said that he would just take a rest. But in the corner of his eyes, Captain America and Banner walked slowly towards the deck. No, Li Te's expression changed. But at this moment, a voice came from his mind. Ding dong, download completed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining the power of regeneration. When Li Te heard the sounds of these two systems, he completely relaxed. At this time, Banner had already gone out of the range of his download. This download was a near miss. And after he obtained when he was in Hulk's body, he only felt that every cell in his body was transforming. It was completely different from the genetic fusion he had obtained before. This time it was a real transformation. His cells, pores and even hair were changing. Every cell is cheering for joy. It is an inexplicable power that enters every corner of his body. Li Te's cells have transformed into an unprecedented state. He seems to have an inexhaustible strength. This is comprehensive. The transformation is a real superpower. Li Te's trump card has been upgraded again. He is now completely non-human. Unless he cuts off Li Te's head or blasts him into slag, otherwise, Li Te cannot die. Give him time, he can still be resurrected. But Li Te is also a bit pity. This kind of regeneration power is worse than Deadpool and Wolverine. Those two are the real terror. But Li Te is already very satisfied. Besides, there will be superpowers waiting for him to download in the future. Li, do you want me to call the doctor? At this time, Coulson's voice sounded, with a hint of worry on his face. Li Te stood up directly and said with a smile, it's okay, I'm just a little uncomfortable, just some old problems. What you just did was just done by Li Te to delay time. That's good, if there's anything, don't hide it from me. Coulson said. Then, the two of them went to the control center of the cabin. There is a very large space here, with all kinds of sophisticated instruments. Almost all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s elite agents are in this place. Of course, this is just part of agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Li, you are here too. Hill was commanding the helicarrier to take off. After seeing Li Te, he had a little smile on his face. He had a good impression of Li Te. Li Te nodded and said hello to him. Li, come and see Mr. Director. Coulson looked at Li Te and said. After hearing this, Li Te looked forward and saw for the first time the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury, known as the King of Spies. He in the movie he looked the same as in Captain Marvel. He was black and had an injured eye. Seeing this, Li Te couldn't help but think of the element-devouring beast that appeared in Captain Marvel. Of course, there was also the so-called strongest hero in Marvel movies. Captain Marvel. Li Te has a strong interest in Captain Marvel Carol. But it is limited to the power of Captain Marvel. Hello, Mr. Fury. Li Te said hello to Nick Fury with dull eyes. I heard from Hill and Coulson that you did a great job as captain. Nick Fury said, he values those who have strength and ability. Moreover, he also knows that in Li Te's training plan, the US team's physical recovery is extremely fast. Mr. Fury joked, that's my job. Li Te said with a smile. In front of the man known as the King of Spies, he had to hide a lot of things. Otherwise, he would be easily suspected. And the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. did not have any abilities that interested Li Te. Fury nodded, and then Black Widow came in with Captain America and Dr. Banner. Li Te noticed that Captain America took out a $10 knife from his pocket and put it on Nick Fury's hand. This is true. It was exactly the same as in the movie. Then everyone started to act. Dr. Banner, as the person who knew the most about gamma rays, was responsible for the final cosmic cube. And Coulson activated all the powers of S.H.I.E.L.D. with only one purpose, that is find Loki. Everything is going on in full swing. I didn't expect to meet you again. We had a great conversation before. Black Widow appeared next to Li Te with a smile on her face. Yeah, it was a pleasure. Li Te said lightly. Black Widow didn't have any abilities worth downloading, so he was no longer interested. After hearing Li Te's cold answer, Black Widow had a look of surprise on his face, and she was even more interested in Li Te. I'm curious. Coulson is chatting with his idol Captain America. It can be seen that he is very nervous. Sir, target found. At this moment, an agent turned his head. Coulson walked over directly and took a look at the picture to confirm it was correct. Fury looked at Loki's image, a glint of light flashed in his eyes, and he said immediately, Captain, it's time to act. Captain America nodded, he is always ready. Sir, let Lee follow you. Coulson raised his head and looked at Fury and said. The latter did not speak, but just looked at Captain America, wanting to hear his opinion. Captain America nodded, indicating that Li Te could follow. This also acknowledged Li Te. Special strength. Okay, Li, you go with the captain and the others. Fury said, agreeing to Coulson's request. Okay sir. Li Te replied, with a hint of joy in his heart. Loki, the god in Norse mythology, must have abilities that he is interested in. Moreover, if you fight, you can gain energy points. I hope this god will not disappoint him. Chapter 58. In the dark night sky, a Quinjet appeared in the clouds. It was Li Te and others who had already started taking action. They have found Loki's location and have launched operations. Li Te and Captain America stood in the cabin, waiting for orders at any time. When he found his target, he seemed to want to kill someone. Black Widow looked at Loki wearing a green robe on the screen and frowned slightly. Captain America had already put on his combat uniform and took out his shield. We need to hurry up. After saying this, Captain America jumped out of the plane with a parachute on his back. Li Te symbolically took out his parachute and prepared to go out with Captain America. He couldn't let Iron Man rush ahead, otherwise the energy value would, but it was gone. Now Li Te must constantly look for battles. And catching Loki can further advance the plot. Soon, Li Te left the plane directly. When Li Te arrived, Captain America and Loki Rocky is already fighting. Loki is known as a god no matter how you say it, and Captain America has just recovered not long ago, so naturally he will not be his opponent for a while. Boom! At this time, Captain America was at a disadvantage and his shield was hanging aside. A glimmer of light appeared in Li Te's eyes, which turned into an afterimage. And when Loki wanted to make a heavy move, he felt a danger. Whoosh! 4 or 5 flying knives appeared in succession, and each flying knife contained extremely strong power. Boom! Loki retreated and hit the ground hard, but he was not injured. He has always been strong. Who is that god whose ants dare to sneak up on you? Loki yelled. At this moment, Li Te had arrived. He really wanted to see how strong this so-called god was. Without any extra movement, Li Te's whole body turned into a black shadow, and he even threw a few arrows in his hands. Dozens of flying knives came out. The sound of piercing the air was heard in an instant, and Loki also discovered the existence of Li Te at this time. He directly picked up the scepter in his hand and smashed it down in the face of Li Te who was flying over. But Li Te was extremely fast, already surpassing Captain America. He raised his palms, strengthened his hands, turned into metallic color, and directly fought against Loki. Boom! Although Li Te's strength is not very strong, Loki's strongest strength is not in close combat. When the two of them fought, no one gained the upper hand for the time being. Double body! In an instant, two Li Te appeared directly. What? Loki's expression changed. It was hard for him to see clearly which one was his real body for a while. Captain America's expression changed even more when he changed. When Li Te fought with him, he hadn't used all his strength yet. Boom! Loki had no other choice. He used the scepter in his hand to emit powerful energy. Everything around him exploded under the huge energy. Li Te's clone was also affected and disappeared directly. And Loki immediately took action and appeared in front of Li Te in an instant. He used the scepter and pressed it directly against Li Te's chest. Seeing this scene, Black Widow and Captain America's expressions changed greatly. Not good. In the previous intelligence, Loki's scepter has the effect of controlling people's minds. Loki is already difficult to deal with. If Li Te is controlled, they will only become more passive. At this time, Loki's face showed a look of confusion. With an evil smile, he looked at Li Te and said slowly, God will let you see clearly the nature of this world. After saying that, he directly activated the scepter. But suddenly, the light of the scepter was restrained. What? Loki was shocked to find that the scepter in his hand had no effect on Li Te. Is this the so-called power that God relies on? Li Te smiled, and a smile appeared in his eyes. At this moment, Loki's face changed drastically, and his eyes were full of doubts. The scepter in his hand was extremely powerful in controlling the mind, and no one could escape. But the mere earthlings in front of him, but was not affected at all? What happened? When Loki was confused, Li Te also launched a counterattack in an instant. He grabbed Loki with one hand and took the scepter directly with the other hand. The next moment, the information about Loki and the scepter appeared clearly in Li Te's mind. Name, Loki Odinson. Identity, adopted son of Odin, god of trickery, god of evil. Abilities, Ice Giant Body, Energy Value, 500, Ice Giant Power, Energy Value, 1000, Magical Power, Energy Value, 500, Residual Limb Connection, 1000 GB, Longevity Increase, 1000 GB, Virus Disease Immunity, 500 GB. Loki's Scepter, Mind Stone, Cosmic Power, temporarily unavailable for download and viewing. When Li Te saw Loki's abilities, there was a hint of astonishment on his face. Although Loki is said to be a god, he is still not as powerful as Hulk. However, Li Te can understand that the gods in the Western world are different from the gods understood in the Eastern world. Li Te has not considered the ability that requires energy points to be downloaded for the time being. And what makes Li Te most helpless is that the Soul Stone cannot be downloaded. This is one of the most powerful artifacts in the Marvel Universe. But Li Te knew that this was because his strength was not enough. To control the power of the Infinity Stones, one must possess power comparable to that of a true god. Li Te has not yet reached that level, so it is temporarily unavailable to view and download. But as long as he continues to get stronger, he can download all the infinite gems in the future. Now, there are 3 abilities available for download in front of Li Te. He doesn't need to regenerate severed limbs because he has Hulk's regenerative power. But longevity increase and protection from diseases and viruses are what he needs. Loki's lifespan is at least several thousand years, and there are too many anti-aging genes beyond the Black Widow. The Black Widow can live for a long time, but it is impossible to live forever. There is also disease and virus immunity, which is what Li Te needs. With this function, he can be immune to all diseases and all viruses on the earth. There is no need to worry about being poisoned at all. This is a very practical ability. Without any hesitation, Li Te directly chose to download. Loki will later be imprisoned in the helicarrier, which was specially built by S.H.I.E.L.D. for the Hulk. Once Loki enters, it will be difficult for Li Te to download his abilities. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the Xiao Yuan increase size is 1000 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the size of virus disease immunity is 500 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 5 MB/s, valid within a range of 20 meters. Seeing this, Li Te started 1,000 times acceleration. He didn't want anything unexpected to happen. $1 million is enough to hurt Li Te's body. But his own strength is the most important thing. Chapter 59. While Li Te was downloading, a look of astonishment appeared on Captain America's face. Loki's scepter just now had no effect on Li Te. And it seems that Li Te's strength exceeds his imagination. Careful! But at the next moment, Captain America exclaimed. At this time, a dagger appeared in Loki's hand, and he stabbed Li Te directly. Although he wanted to surrender, he was definitely not defeated by a mere mortal. And the moment Loki made a move, Li Te felt it immediately. In an instant, Li Te took action. With powerful force, he lifted Loki high and smashed it to the ground again. Boom! Loki's expression changed greatly, and the powerful force almost made him unable to resist. But it was not over yet. Li Te grabbed his clothes again and threw him to the ground again, just like Hulk did to Loki in the movie. At this time, Li Te was like a ferocious beast, attacking again and again. This scene not only shocked Captain America, but also the Black Widow who was flying the fighter plane. It was too rough. Who is the god? Countless people looked at this scene in astonishment, stunned on the spot, speechless. While Li Te was going back and forth 3 or 4 times, Loki turned pale and fell to the ground after suffering a medium to large blow. At this moment his eyes were full of astonishment and despair. Where did this person come from and how could he be so strong? This was the only thought in Loki's mind. Ding dong, detect that the host battle is over and gain 20 energy points. Ding dong, download completed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining the ability to increase longevity. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for getting the virus system. When Li Te completely defeated Loki, the voice of the system came. Sure enough, Li Te guessed it right. As long as you fight, you can gain energy points. Although it is only a mere 210 points, but for Li Te, this harvest is enough. Including his own energy value, there are a total of 40 points. With another 10 energy points, he can download Iron Man's Mark Armor. The 2 abilities of Loki were also fully mastered by Li Te. Especially when he merged Loki's 2 abilities, mysterious powers poured into Li Te's body. Li Te could feel that his strength increased again. As long as he continued to encounter powerful abilities, Li Te could continue to become stronger. Feeling the changes in his body, Li Te's eyes showed a glimmer of light, full of confidence. But he knew that this time it was just Loki's fake surrender. And Loki didn't know his true strength, so he could subdue Loki in a short time. If Loki was in his strongest state, even Li Te would be difficult to deal with now. This time, Li Te was caught off guard. At this moment, Captain America appeared next to Li Te, with a look of shock on his face. Li Te's strength was indeed beyond his imagination, and even he couldn't defeat Loki in a short time. But Li Te did it. And in such a rough way. It was simply beyond his imagination. Li, you are really strong. Captain America sighed sincerely. He even admired Li Te. Li Te put down the scepter in his hand and handed it to Cap. Captain, I leave this to you. Since the Soul Stone cannot be downloaded for the time being, Li Te plans to continue to promote the development of the plot so as to develop more powerful functions in the system. Captain America looked at Li Te and nodded solemnly. Whether it is Li Te's strength or Li Te's his character is respected by Captain America. Hey! At this moment, there was a roar in the dark sky, and Iron Man landed in his armor. When the mask was opened, he looked at Captain America with a kind of surprise in his eyes. Did I miss something? This reindeer was subdued by you unexpectedly. Iron Man said. He originally wanted to see what the legendary god looked like, but now it seems that it is nothing more than that, so he is no longer interested. Loki's current appearance does look like a reindeer. Well, Mr. Li, are you there? Iron Man was a little surprised when he saw Li Te. Because there was no position of Li Te in the information Coulson gave him before. So Iron Man was very surprised by Li Te's appearance. Stay safe, Mr. Stark. Li Te replied. He didn't have enough energy right now, so he didn't download it immediately. Li Te was waiting for an opportunity. Come on, got Loki, we have a lot to do. Captain America said, and then put Loki on the Quinjet. The riots in this area stopped. Fortunately, S.H.I.E.L.D. acted quickly and did not cause too much damage. As for Li Te, who had not spoken, his eyes have always been on Iron Man. But he is not in a hurry. There is still a lot of time. He must get the Mark Armor on Iron Man. At this time, Loki had been subdued by everyone on the fighter plane. But he didn't look anxious, but very relaxed. But when Loki looked at Li Te, he felt a little afraid. After all, in the battle just now, Li Te cast a huge shadow on him. Didn't he say anything? Iron Man looked at Loki, still looking like he didn't care about anything. Something was wrong, he surrendered too easily. Captain America spoke, and Jing Jing began to have doubts. There was no way, their operation this time was really smooth. His hunch told him that this matter was not simple. Why, is it because people are old and their memory is no longer good? Iron Man teased Captain America. But Captain America didn't answer him and didn't want to argue. He knew what kind of person this billionaire was. This guy is very strong. It is indeed a bit suspicious for us to subdue them. At this moment, Li Te spoke, a smile appeared on his face, and he looked at Loki like this. Loki was shocked when Li Te stared at him. Among all the people present, Li Te was the only one who was completely can't see through. Is Mr. Li doubting his own strength? Iron Man said. He also felt that Li Te was not simple. Mr. Stark joked. Among the people present, I am afraid no one is more confident than me. Li Te smiled and said nothing more. Boom. Just when Iron Man wanted to continue to say something, a series of thunderous sounds sounded. In an instant, the wind surged and thunder and lightning raged. The entire fighter plane was shaking. Loki's face was a little ugly, and he looked very nervous. Nervous. He knew that person was coming. Chapter 60. Lightning flashed outside, and the Black Widow piloted a fighter plane with a heavy expression on her face. There's something unusual about this weather. She felt very strange. According to her previous understanding, there should be no thunder and lightning in these days. At this moment, Captain America also saw something strange about Loki. At this time, Loki looked out of the window. His face was a little pale. But he was not too afraid. What? Are you afraid of lightning? Captain America spoke with a solemn expression on his face. He had always thought this matter was strange, so he was very concerned about Loki. At this time, Li Te sat up slightly, with a smile in his eyes. He's the guy who's afraid of lightning. Li Te spoke, his heart full of fighting spirit. As long as he fights, he can gain energy points. No matter he wins or loses. A simple battle with Loki can give him 20 energy points, not to mention the so-called Avengers Big Three. One of the gods of thunder. Compared to Loki, this god of thunder is truly a god. Boom. After Li Te just finished speaking, the entire fighter plane seemed to have been hit by something. At this time, Iron Man and Captain America both realized that something was wrong and prepared to go. They knew that someone was about to appear. Iron Man opened his eyes even more in the back cabin of the fighter plane, prepare to see who appears. The next moment, a man wearing armor, a red cloak on his shoulders, and holding a silver hammer is none other than Thor, one of the three giants of the Avengers. At this moment, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor the three finally gathered together for the first time at this moment. At this time, Li Te also saw these three giants for the first time. As soon as Thor landed, he didn't hesitate at all, and faced Iron Man who was blocking him and struck down with his hammer. The power of Thor, it's too strong, it can't be compared to Iron Man's armor. Boom! Iron Man fell heavily on the cabin, while Thor took Loki directly off the plane. Li Te didn't hesitate at all. He stood up directly, put his parachute on his back, and stood on the cabin. Li, what are you doing? They are all gods in myths and legends. Black Widow immediately noticed Li Te's strange movement and immediately reminded her. Yeah Li, we need a battle plan. Even Captain America was a little shocked. He could see that Li Te actually wanted to chase the legendary god. The gods I know don't dress like circuses, and now I have a plan, go to war. Li Te didn't look back and jumped out of the fighter plane instantly. This shocked Captain America and Iron Man present. How can young people nowadays be tough? I love his character. Iron Man smiled, and immediately activated his armor and flew out of the fighter plane. Captain America looked at these two madmen with eyes full. He also put on his parachute. There was no other way. Once these people started fighting, how could they stop it? Got it. Captain, do you really want to go out? Black Widow can't believe these lunatics, especially the leader Li Te. A level 6 agent, who is not even powerful in S.H.I.E.L.D., actually dares to challenge God. If I don't go, it won't end. Captain America didn't look back. He jumped out of the fighter plane with a shock shield in hand. They are really a bunch of lunatics. Black Widow shook her head. She couldn't help these people. She finally knew why Neil Fury had never started the Avengers plan before. These people were too difficult to control. At this time, Li Te had no idea at all. Open the parachute, because this is too slow. His target at this time is only Thor. Only in this way can he quickly gain energy. Boom! The next moment, Li Te returned to the ground heavily. Not far away from him, Thor and Iron Man were already fighting together. Without any hesitation, Iron Man and Thor. These two superheroes were in front of him. Energy value. Of course he would not miss it so easily. Iron Man is very strong, but if he only relies on his armor, he is no match for Thor. He was knocked to the ground hard, and Thor also used real fire to face Iron Man's ya, I want to hit it directly with a hammer. The power of Thor's hammer is too strong. Even Iron Man's armor cannot bear it if it continues like this. Whoosh! At the moment he was about to smash down, Li Te used the spider web launcher to shoot out hundreds of meters of spider web, wrapping around the Thor's body. Well done, Li. Iron Man is still frightened. This Asgardian is too strong. Ah! But in the next moment, Thor had completely broken open all the cobwebs on his body, and the powerful power of thunder and lightning continued to sweep across his body. This is indeed a guy who can be called a god, and he is also the first person Li Te has traveled through the Marvel world. The strongest person he had ever faced. But he had no fear. In his hand, the vibranium alloy shield flew out. Boom! Thor's hammer hit the shield hard, bursting out with a dazzling light. And who are you? Thor, the god of thunder, looked at Li Te and yelled. He had never seen this person before. Shield level 6 agent, Bruce Lee. This answer stunned Thor. How dare a shield agent disrupt his battle? But before he had time to think deeply, Li Te threw out dozens of flying knives. Each flying knife was thrown. Carry this moment grenade. Boom boom boom. There were dozens of explosions in succession, and even Iron Man was a little confused. This Li Te was so powerful and so fierce that an ordinary person would have died countless times. But Thor is an Asgardian, and his physical body is not comparable to that of people on Earth. As the son of Odin, he is naturally powerful. Even dozens of grenades did not hurt him, but made him even more angry. Oh, damn it! Thunder God flew out in an instant, like a red lightning, and the speed was beyond ordinary people's understanding. This was the first time Li Te faced such a powerful opponent, and head-on confrontation was definitely not possible. So he had to use other methods. Li Te directly used the spider silk to wrap up Thor in just 1 second. After wrapping all the spider silk around hundreds of giant trees, Thor was temporarily unable to move. And he threw it again. He took out the shield in his hand and hit the god of thunder directly. Boom, boom, boom. Counting dozens in a row, even Iron Man on the side became a participant in the war. The two sons of Odin, the Lord of Asgard, were both beaten by Li Te on the same day. This was something Iron Man couldn't accept. Is this kid really just a level 6 agent? But at the next moment, Thunder God erupted, and his powerful force uprooted hundreds of giant trees. Bang bang bang! This kind of power is so terrifying that even Li Te was a little frightened when he saw it. Boom boom! At this time, lightning with a diameter of more than tens of meters gathered in the air and struck Li Te heavily. With this kind of power, not to mention one person, even a building would be torn apart. _FALU reminds you, reading 3 Things collection. End of the chapter. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.